Again, for the 5th time in the last 6 years, the Tigers of Southern Columbia at 14-0, and the champion out of the West, out of the Big 7 in the WPIAA, South Side Beaver, the Rams, also 14-0. Delighted to have you with us here on the Pennsylvania Cable Network. Jed Donahue, the coach, Gary Sutton, also Mark Shuey. We're with you all weekend long here in Chocolatetown, USA, as you see the officials there gathering the captains at midfield. Rained earlier today, but it has stopped. It's it's comfortable. Not much wind, negligible. Flags are still. Temperatures low 50s. Not bad to play a football game here.
That certainly hasn't dampened the enthusiasm of anyone so far this afternoon, Jed, as everyone here is hyped up for this game and ready to go. Southern Columbia, no stranger to this game, but a stranger to the winning end of it a couple of years. And Mark, West Allegheny coming in for the first time. Yeah,
that's right. West Allegheny and South Side Beaver. They're South Side Beavers from the District 7 and the Super 7 Conference. And Southern Columbia's had a whole lot of trouble with Super 7 teams over the past few years. Going to get ready for our national anthem, but we're going to detail this Southern Columbia South Side Beaver matchup. It's interesting. It's almost like looking at a mirror at each other. They run the same offense. We'll talk about it after our national anthem.
Take you around a tour of the Hershey Park Stadium for our national anthem here, and then we'll get on with boys single A.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the once bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, Saint Spangled Banner wave o'er the land of free and all the
Beautifully done there. Southern Columbia, South Side Beaver. Southern Columbia gathering around Jim Raw for the 5th time in 6 years.
Thank you.
Let's start with the South Side Beaver offense. Mark Shuey, take us through it. It starts with a quarterback and pretty much ends there for the most part. Sean McCune, dynamic talent.
Sean McCune is a dynamic talent. He's a quarterback, punter, kicker, defensive back. He passed for 152 yards and 5 touchdowns last week. There you see the offensive line. It's anchored by big Kevin Cravarlo. He's a good one. Heath Barrett, also an all-state selection. There you see the South Side Beaver offense. Stan Nail caught 4 of those scoring strikes from McCune last week. Corey Boyd, he's going to be one to watch. This guy is built like a fullback. I mean, he is one tough customer, and the halfback is Jared Lewis. We're just about ready to go here for the kickoff single A championship in the PIAA high school football. About to get it on here at the Hershey Park Stadium.
Well, Scott Mullen, the general manager here at the Hershey Park Stadium, and the staff here in Chocolatetown. The field is in great shape. They took some rain this morning, not a lot, 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch.
And you see that has been resodded. You can see on the outer edges that it looks a little bit more worn, a little bit rougher. Well, it was resodded just after Thanksgiving. The middle is real tight, good thick grass. The sides are a little bit thin. The grass is worn down to the nubs on the sides here just beyond the hash marks.
Wes Lindemuth set to meet it for Southern Columbia and get us started. Nail going deep for South Side Beaver. Long kickoff. Merle Thompson lost the handle, now starts it up the other way for the Rams. He's got the 25. Good yardage, good field position to the 28-yard line. The tackle is made by Donald Spots of Southern Columbia. A gain on the play of 21 on the opening kickoff. And here comes South Side Beaver. 1st and 10 now at their own 28-yard line.
And there you see the defense for Southern Columbia, the defensive end, Mike Fox, number 72. Pete Trometer at number 25, the other defensive end at tackles, Fisher and Kingston. Sones also a tackle, and the linebacker, Mike Schaffler. Linebackers also Smeltzer and Lindemuth will be big this afternoon. Jason Mills, Myers, and Garrett Bombeck complete the team.
Look at Sean McCune, the quarterback there. He's back to pass. He runs an awful lot. Going to throw it on the move, in and out of the hands of the intended receiver that time, Jared Lewis, the fullback, 5'9", 165-pound senior. Well, Gary, you've coached in these situations before, and obviously you've got kids, emotions are running high, and they are flying high, and anxieties are high. A little tight here early.
There was a good example where we saw Lewis trying to run without the football right away, and you'll see a little bit of that nerve kind of play here in the opening moments as both teams adjust to the situation of playing in a state championship game.
Both teams run a tricky type offense, a wing T, but they have great leadership at the quarterback positions. We'll talk about Matt Caskey when Southern Columbia has it. McCune, a senior, pitch back this time. Big hole has 5. This is going to be Dan Nail, kind of on a wing-back reverse, and he's close to a first down. A gain of about 8 or 9, up to about the 36, 37-yard line. This is what the wing T does, Mark. We're going to see this again, and
yeah, look at
deception.
Look who's leading the way there. Number 1, that's the quarterback, McCune. And left side of the line just dominating Southern Columbia on that particular play. Pickup of about 6 or 7 on the play, and it'll be third and 1 for South Side Beaver.
Muscle conversion here. Opening minute of the championship in Single A. Delighted to have you along the Pennsylvania Cable Network today. 3rd and 1 at the 36. The lone setback, the big fullback, Corey Boyd. He's got the ball, and he's going to get stopped short of the first down, leading the charge for Southern Columbia. Right in there was, I believe, Mark Osavalla. Mike Fox was also there. And great
Tom
penetration.
Smeltzer. Watch the linebacker here, number 82. He just plugs the hole right there. Tom Smeltzer gets in on the pile. You can see him dragging him down, and that's a big stop for Southern Columbia's defense. You know, one thing that concerned Coach Jim Roth of Southern Columbia was the slow starts for the Tigers in the past 2 games. And conversely, South Side Beaver has started very quickly in their last couple of games. Last week, a 53-6 pasting of Bishop Carroll, and they scored on their opening possession. This time, opening possession, they have to punt.
McCune only punted twice last week in their 53-6 win. It's a fake. Got a man wide open now. First down. A lot more after the catch all the way down to the Southern Columbia 37-yard line. And you won't execute a better fake punt than that. Well, it is the state championship game, and Glenn McDougall, the head coach of Southside, rolls the dice. It's a 26-yard gain on this play and a first down for Southside Beaver.
Watch Nail right here. He's going to go down on a little move right in the middle of the field, and he'll catch it right in this area here, and then takes off for the races. And is finally brought down there by number 20, Brett Myers, really, who saves a touchdown and gets a little help from Andy Hornberger.
That shows you what can happen when the best athlete on your team is not only your quarterback, but your punter, your kicker, and your defensive back. Last week, he punted 61 yards, and this week, a fake punt, and they're back in business inside Southern Columbia territory.
Here, nice ball fake. Man to the outside, Lewis. Sensational play from behind that time. Wes Lindemuth, the senior, 6'1", 170-pound, drags him down from behind. I'll tell you, Lewis had some open real estate in front of him.
Faking the dive and then making the pitch out, but a nice tackle out there, as you said, by Lewis. And West Allegheny not fooled at all, Jed.
Gain of 1 at 2nd and 9. 9:30 to go in the opening quarter. Into the game at a wide receiver spot now for Southside is going to be Rob Melnick. He's a 5'9 senior. Hewed under center. Motion man is Nail. McCune will run, rolling, looking. Has a man open and overshot him. I believe it's Lewis down near the 29-yard line. Make that Melnick. Not a real good throw that time by McCune, who had pretty good opening. He can really get out on the break. He is a real handful for the Southern Columbia defense.
Yeah, he sure is. McCune that time started his roll to the left, and Melnick was open briefly. He was just doing a lazy curl over to the far sidelines, but the pass was thrown a little bit behind him, and it'll bring up a 3rd and long.
3rd and 9 to be exact. The ball at the 37. Southside Beaver off the fake punt at a 26-yard and a first down. McCune goes into the gun. He's going to keep it himself. This is a design play, but Southern Columbia crawls all over him at the 31-yard line, short of a first down. He needed the 28. It'll be about 4th down and 3, and considering both kickers in this game not known for real lengthy legs, it's probably a 4-down-and-go situation here for Glenn McDougall.
There's Smeltzer once again. Watch number 82, the linebacker, fought off his block. He was the first one to kind of slow down McCune. He got a whole host of help from his teammates. So So it's going to be 4th and 4, but who knows what South Side Beaver is capable of here. We've got a dangerous weapon back there, and Sean McCune.
Well, he ran for over 900 yards, or darn near close to 900 yards. 4 wide receiver set. McCune back under the gun, throws over the middle. It's nailed again. Got a first down to the Southern Columbia 19-yard line. Talk about a guy saving his best football for last. He has been scintillating over the last 3 weeks. 4 touchdowns in the Western Final against Bishop Carroll, and here's the reason why he has become the go-to man.
Dale with a little down and in move here, right in the middle, and then takes off and gets brought down in the middle of the field. But nothing fancy about it at all, Jed. Just down and in, and then find him in the opening.
Southern Columbia calling timeout. They're out of whack defensively. Well, good story on Dan Nail. After his 4 touchdown performance against Bishop Carroll, deer season goes out and bags an 11-point buck, and he called that pretty much the highlight of his week.
Here we are again.
11-point buck, that's quite a wreck.
There you see him down that little slant in move, and then he'll catch it right in the middle of the field. Nice play again to Dan Nail, the go-to guy right now when you're trying to find a receiver on West Allegheny. Or when I say West Allegheny, South Side, I better not jump ahead too far, Jed.
Well, Nail, we mentioned it's 10 touchdowns on the year. 4 came on one swing of the bat last week, as he was really the guy that McCune went to. Talk about McCune, 875 yards on the ground coming into this game, 14 touchdowns by rush. He's also thrown for 1,100 yards, 16 touchdowns, but to give you an idea of his poise mark, only 3 interceptions.
Well, here's something that Southern Columbia better be wary of. Glenn McDougall, head coach of Southside Beaver, says that Southside's tendencies throughout the year is to feed off its momentum, and they've got a lot of momentum going right now. If the team scores early, it very often gets in a roll, just like the Rams did last week in their 53-6 demolition of previously unbeaten Bishop Carroll.
9th play of the drive right now. Nail, the motion man, going to be a pitch, but Nail is trying to get to the corner. Southern Columbia strings him out. Good play over there by Brett Myers. We'll call his name all day long. He is a nominee for all state honors from the Associated Press. Came into this game with 6 interceptions and covers the run extremely well at the cornerback spot.
Yeah, that's just a great play by Brett Myers. He's a 5'11", 150-pounder. Came out of his halfback spot defensively and just made a big stop one-on-one. It's exactly what Coach Jim Roth needs to have on that play.
And on that last play, you saw Brett Myers nail through him that little Judy, never bought it all, made him move to the outside, and then he got him.
Is Southern Columbia known to play keep away on the clock? Right now, this drive, well over 5 minutes. Handoff, big boy, Corey Boyd, the fullback. 5'7", 212-pounder into the line for Southern Columbia. Osavala is in on the stop. Mike Fox also in there. And Tom Smelter, recall his name all day long. Smelter, one of those rare players with a nose for the football.
Oh, well, Corey Boyd, better than 1,200 yards rushing this season, and when they get close to the goal line, he sure has a nose for the end zone. 26 touchdowns scored by Corey Boyd this season. You can see why. Look how powerfully built he is.
11th play of the drive upcoming. This drive now is 5 minutes old. 3rd and 7 for Southside Beaver, the motion man. Melnick, McCune going to keep it himself, trying to cut some room, can't find much. About the 19-yard line, and that's it. Tackle made, Nick Fisher, 5'10", 245-pounder. Good pursuit from behind.
Good job that time by Mike Schaffler of closing up the hole, number 71. You'll see him right here. He closes up this hole, coming right in here, forces him back to the outside. See it there? Schaffler, and then he forces him back out and keeps him from a big gain.
15.
4th and 5. This may be where Southside Beaver likes it. They've converted twice on 4th down in this drive. Once a fake punt for 26 yards, and then they hit an 11-yard pass to Dan Nail. And that's where we stand right now on the 14-yard line as Southern Columbia scratches in defensively. McCune, play action, looks, throws, got a man. It's the tight end, caught for a first down, I believe, inside the 10, all the way to the Southern Columbia 8-yard line. The tight end, Dave Brandon, 6'1", 195 pounds. Give McCune credit. He made this play.
He sure did. Here he waits. A lot of pursuit coming in. Wait till his tight end broke open and zipped it in there. That's a nice pass by McCune.
See if we can see that one more time. You'll see him throw a nice block over on that left-hand side and then make that little down and in move that's been so good in this drive to Southside.
Little tight end drag that time. Dan Smith into the game at a wide receiver spot. Boy, the lone setback behind McCune. 12th play of this drive, and now we've got confusion and a penalty flag down. We'll go to the referee, Gary Single, here for the official call momentarily.
Anybody else? We have a dead ball foul, encroachment on the defense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Well, that'll drive coaches crazy. I know Jim Roth, what a record he has. We'll be talking about that here in a little while. Half the distance to the goal. And
here's that fourth down play again we saw a moment ago. The hold up over the far side, little drag, and now going over the middle, tight end. Nice diving catch over there on the near side by Dave Brandon.
The coverage from Myers, the defensive back, was there. That ball was perfectly thrown.
First and goal now. 5:35 to go in a fast-moving first quarter. South Side Beavers have the football. Handoff goes to Boyd. Boyd slams into the wall. Not much there. Mark Osavalla, Nick Fisher closing it up.
Corey Boyd coming into this game, 180 attempts, 1,240 yards. And where he goes, he attracts a lot of people. As you see him slamming into the middle of that line, took 4 or 5 guys to bring him down.
Got a yard, and he earned every inch of that.
26 touchdowns on the season for Mr. Boyd. He has been tough.
You know, Southside Beavers' offensive line, it's not a big offensive line. It averages all between 210, 215, depending on what these guys have for breakfast this morning. But they're very, very quick, and you can see that quickness on display here in this first drive.
Jared Lewis into the game. Full house stack. They're going to go right back to Boyd. Moving. Touchdown, Southside Beaver. 14-play drive to start the football game. And it goes 7 minutes and 16 seconds. Impressive. They convert 4th down 3 times, and they muscle their way home from here.
Great blocking on the interior that time. You saw Ray Tate making a good little block straight across and opening up the hole for Boyd, who eventually forced his way in for his 27th touchdown of the season.
7 minutes and 16-second drive to open the game. Southern Columbia has yet to touch it offensively. Coming in for the point after for Southside Beaver is Jared Lewis, 5'9", 165-pound senior. Nope, a lot of faking going on today. It's going to be Nail, and he's going to be hit from behind. Garrett Bembenek, 6'2", 175-pounder. So good play that time from Bembenek to stop the 2-point conversion.
You know, you can try these neat things when you have great athletes on your team, and to run the Delaware wing T offensively, you have to have great athletes. This time, that's a design play. They just tried to go for the 2, and great pursuit from the Southern Columbia defense to keep him out of the end zone.
Here comes the touchdown play again. You'll see Corey running in there again, Corey Boyd. Good block across, as we mentioned earlier, by Ray Tate to the left to open the hole, and then Boyd just bangs his way into the end zone, as he's done 26 other times this season.
Well, for the second consecutive year, the Pennsylvania Cable Network delighted to bring you exclusive coverage of the PIAA Football Championships, 12th year, and it has really energized high school football around the state by having it available to you. And for those of you watching the PIAA Football Finals at home, you're tuned to the Pennsylvania Cable Network, a public service of your local cable television company. We welcome you, Jed Donahue, the coach, Gary Sutton, Mark Shuey, our entire WITF production crew. We've all been together about 7 years, but delighted as always to be working with PCN, your home for all of the PIAA championships throughout the year 1999-2000 school year. 4:44 to go in this opening quarter. Southside Beaver, a 14-play drive that gobbles up 7 minutes and 16 seconds. And now we'll get a look at Southern Columbia on offense for the first time. They are just as explosive and as methodical, I might add, as well. Kickoff is going to go out of bounds, so it'll be 1st and 10 now at the 35-yard line, and this will give us an opportunity to meet the Southern Columbia offense. We can put them up here momentarily. They made a commitment to throw the football a little bit more this year with Jim Roth and Matt Caskey. Good numbers, Mark.
Yeah, Matt Caskey, he's closing in on the school record for career passing yardage. He already has the career completion record at Southern Columbia. Sean Gall, of course, is a great running back for the club. He's got better than 1,600 yards and 20 touchdowns. And tight end Sean Conahan, he's made some big plays, both offensively and defensively this year. We'll talk about him later on. Jeff Lowry is the career reception leader for the Southern Columbia Tigers. And Andy Hornberger, he has played every down for 4 years here in Southern Columbia. Same with Sean Gall. These guys, they've been around this veteran program. They've been to the state finals several times. We mentioned this is the 5th trip. victorious in 94. Not so fortunate in 95, 96, and last year an 18-0 loss to Rochester right here at Hershey.
Re-kick it off the procedure penalty. Short kick. Still alive, still looking, and a pretty good return to about 37-yard line. Tackle is made for South Side Beaver. And Southern Columbia met their offense. Now let's meet the South Side Beaver defense. Kevin Crivellario is one of the big guys. Heath Barrett, though, is an All-State nominee, and he's outstanding.
Yeah, he sure is. You're really going to have to account for him in each and every play of this ball game offensively for Jim Ross, Southern Columbia Tigers. There you see McCoon. He does everything back there. He's got a lot of INTs, 6 of them in this season in the defensive backfield.
And Sean Gall, maybe a yard or two. That is about all. Tackle is made. Dan Nail called his name a lot on their first series offensively. He slithers in to make the tackle in the gap. Gain of maybe 2 yards. It'll be second. We'll call it, well, they're giving him 3. Charitable, it's 2nd and 7 upcoming.
Jed, one of the interesting things about this Southern Columbia offense, a Delaware wing team, but they're very, very balanced when it comes to passing and running.
Richard on the carry. Little step around move across the 40 to about the 43-yard line. Make that Paul Nazarchik, 5'7" senior. And it'll be 3rd down and about 4 upcoming.
Nothing fancy here. Just find the right hole and try to bang into it. It shuts down quickly as you see McCoon stepping in there right away to plug the hole.
3rd and 3 upcoming Southern Columbia to keep the drive alive. There's your time in the upper right-hand corner in this opening quarter. Kasky back, looks, he can run. He's pretty good wheels. 1st down into Southside Beaver territory to the 45. It's a gain of 9, and it moves the chains. Kasky, very clever. He's a junior, and they say he's their best passer since Brad Osavella in 1994, but here he does it on his legs.
Watch Kasky sell it right here, and then he sees the open hole and heads on downfield. And Matt Kasky with the first big play of the game for Southern Columbia.
Ball at the 45. That's a big 3rd down conversion there for Southern Columbia. Last thing you want to do is go back on defense. Here's the trickery. Nate Richards' first carry, pops out of there with it, lunging to the 39-yard line. Significant for this reason. This young man suffered a hairline fracture in his ankle in a win against Danville earlier, in a loss rather to Danville earlier this season. Didn't think he'd come back, and I think he may have re-injured a little bit.
Last week against Tri-Valley, Coach Jim Roth ran Nate Richard a couple of times, and he picked up about 30 yards, but from the second half, he just used Richard primarily as a blocking back. His leg is still very tender, and it tends to tighten up on him now and then. It's kind of a cool, damp day, so it has hurt body parts have a tendency to do that during weather conditions such as we have today.
Got a whistle, might be lining up in the neutral zone. We'll wait for the official call. Here we go.
Joe, what do you have now?
Encroachment in the neutral zone. Here's Gary Single.
Dead ball foul, encroachment, lineman in the neutral zone, 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
2nd one on Southern Columbia.
Well, that creates 2nd down and about 9 right now for the Tigers.
Lowry just brought the play back to the game. Number 10, keeping an eye on him on this play.
Quick handoff, Gall, big hole, has 5, maybe 6, that's about all. Pretty good gain in on the stop, Dan Smith for Southside Beaver that time. But again, you can see the explosiveness of Gall. Doesn't have those gaudy 40 times, but he's a productive football player.
Yeah, he's a horse. Better than 1,600 yards this season, 20 touchdowns. An all-state selection, and he's one of these kids that's played all 4 years, hasn't missed a game.
Been in big game environments before. Southern Columbia really had to go play action. Kasky going to keep it himself. Wiggles forward short of the 1st down. There wasn't much room in the gap that time, and the stop is made by Crivellaro, the 6-foot senior. He's a handful. Heath Barrett is also over there, along with Chris Simmons.
Yeah, Crivellaro was not fooled by this play action fake. Look at it, bottled up the lineup right there, and that's number 72 as well. And that's Andy McCoy. 238-pound, 6'2" junior.
And number 21, Justin Tiller, did a great job of turning that play to the inside.
Yes, he did.
Southern Columbia electing to play field position. Good punt by Gall. Gets it to turn over, but it goes into the end zone. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line now.
Well, this is just what Southern Columbia coach Jim Roth did not want to see. And that is his team starting slowly and South Side Beaver sprinting downfield and scoring a touchdown on their first possession. Southern Columbia actually began the season very slowly. They headed into October with a record of 2-2. And, you know, this is a team that's used to a tremendous amount of success. 9 District 4 single A championships. That is the longest streak in the state. They've been here to the finals in 1994. They beat Western Beaver 49-6. In 95-96, they lost to Farrell, and last year they lost to Rochester. So they were really in doubt as to whether they could even make the playoffs this year with that 2-2 record. But they turned it around with a big win over Marion Catholic, and they've got to get something going here.
McComb play action. Little dump off Dan Nail. Big yardage across the 30 all the way up to the 37-yard line. It's a gain of 17. Beautiful play action.
What sets this up is the play action, Jed. You'll see him just freeze the linebackers here at the line. Watch the handoff right here. Freeze the linebackers, then step back. Nail just kind of flares into the flat, catches the ball, and then takes off. And Nail's having a huge day so far.
Well, I'll tell you, isn't that Delaware wing T offense a thing of beauty when you have a great athlete, a quarterback who can execute like that? He really sold that fake, and then he had Nail wide open. Great play. First down. Ball on the 37-yard line.
3 catches for 53 yards so far for Dan Nail.
I'll go a little more muscle up front this time. Corey Boyd on the carry to about the 41-yard line. On top of the stack, Nick Fisher for Southern Columbia. Also there is Roy Kingston. He's 5'8", 225 pounds. But again, when you talk about the wing T, the key for both of these programs is they've had veteran leadership at the quarterback position. And for Southside Beaver, McCune is a guy that many believe might be the best player in Pennsylvania in single A, as we have talked about. So far, he has put on an impressive display as we're playing out the final seconds of this opening quarter. 2nd and 6. McCune going to drop again. Has a man. It's going to be Dan Smith, his first catch and a first down. Step around move. He's flying. 40, 36, 35-yard line. What a run by Smith. After the catch, they say officially out at the 37-yard line. And a first down for Southside Beaver, a gain of 23.
Smith just does a little square out, steps to the side. Now you see him push off the tackle right here. Give a little juke right here and step to the inside and then take off for another gain of about 10 more yards. Nice play by Smith.
Kind of feel for Jason Mills, a sophomore for Southern Columbia. He stopped right there, right by him. Quick feed, and we have hit the end of the first quarter of play with Southside Beaver on the move to the Southern Columbia 37-yard line. I'd like to thank everyone involved in today's state finals, and a big thank you as well to the cable companies in the state that carry the Pennsylvania Cable Network, bringing sights and sounds of the 1999 PIAA football championships to millions of Commonwealth residents. Well, there is a very concerned defensive staff for Southern Columbia right now. They're getting pushed around in this football game, and they're also getting tricked a little bit.
Well, they are, yeah, and the Delaware wing T, and this is the kind of day where if you can run the Delaware wing T offensively, field conditions are less than pristine, then you can really have an advantage if you can run that ball very effectively. And the Delaware wing T is operated very well by McCune. He's what a tremendous athlete. In fact, Bishop Carroll's head coach, Craig Splonsky, said that he is the best athlete they have seen all year, bar none. And you can see why. The kid does everything for them, and he really sells the fakes. He can sprint out. He can pass. His passes have been right on the mark. So it's beginning and ending with Sean McCune. He is really directing this team very well this afternoon.
Chad, when you look at the Delaware wing T that Southside Beaver's running right now, there's really 3 things that jump out at you. Number 1, you got to have an athletic quarterback. McCune certainly is that. Can pass the ball, can set you up, can run. You've got to have an outstanding receiver. You've got that right now, and Nail on the outside who's had a wonderful first quarter. And then you've got to have that battering ram that keeps the defense honest on the ground. And certainly you look inside and you see Corey Boyd. So the 3 main parts of that offense have worked very well for Southside Beaver so far.
That's a design play. Has the corner, has 5, has 10, and another. Southside Beaver first down to the Southern Columbia 25-yard line. Officially a gain of 12, and you get an idea of the speed of Sean McCune that time. He had in this on the season, over 800 yards, 875 to be exact. Here's 12 more onto the total.
Look at the strength of McCune and the great eyes. McCune at 6'2", 180 pounds, can look over that defense and really sets it up well, waits for his blocking, and then takes off.
First quarter stats, South Side Beaver, 113 total offensive yards. First quarter, 84 passing, 29 rushing. Southern Columbia, 31 rushing, no passing.
Boyd on the carry. He's still going, refusing to go down, muscling and powering his way to the 19-yard line. Andy Hornberger holding on for dear life, and underneath the stack here is going to be Steve Kowalczyk.
There's Brett Myers hanging on around the ankles.
You didn't see him. He was caught in the wash.
He's only about 160 pounds, but he's a tough defensive halfback, and he just hung on for dear life. You know, the way these guys run the Delaware wing tee, it looks like they've been playing together forever. And you know what? They have. These guys, 15 of these Ram players won titles as 10-year-olds in what they term termite football. And at 13, the midget players won a title as well.
Pitch back. It's going to be Jared Lewis. Big Hole has the 10, and he's inside the 10 to the 5-yard line. First and goal to go. South Side Beaver, impressively so in this opening half. They're already on the lead at 7-0, and here's another Big Hole set up by the quarterback again.
And look at big number 72, Andy McCoy, pulling out of there of his tackle. Making a key
Throw in
block.
there number 60, Ted Nowitzki. Those two guys plus McCune provide quite a wall to run behind.
Make it 6-0. I missed the extra point.
But McCune has been impressive so far in every aspect of the game, throwing, running, and blocking.
Looking, got a man, touchdown against Southern Columbia. It's the tight end, Dave Brandon, on a tight end drag. He was wide open.
Second time they found Brandon this afternoon in another big situation, this time for a score. As you see McCune rolling out, gets those shoulders square this time, and a nice little toss to Brandon in for another 6 points for South Side Beaver.
They'll be going for 2. That's beautifully done there. Tight end just kind of slides out late. Boom. McCune had him wide open for another 6. So now they'll go for 2. It's 12-0 right now. Southside Beaver on the lead as they look to head in here. McCune going to roll out, gets a block, throws against the grain, and the ball is batted away. Well, 2 missed extra points for Southern Columbia. They'll see if they can make them pay. And a timeout on the field, 10:56 left here in the second quarter of play, and Southside Beaver on another march, mixing the pass, the run, and deception, beautifully so, and lead it 12-0. His telecast of high school state finals made possible by Pennsylvania cable television companies, which carry PCN, the Pennsylvania Cable Network, on their channel lineup. If you're tuned in live to this championship action, be sure to thank your local cable company for supporting PCN and giving these high school athletes a much-deserved statewide audience. And that statewide audience, talking to the coaches, has energized high school football so much in this state. A 2-minute and 24-second drive that time for Southside Beaver. They had a 14-play march the first time, and it's capped off with a touchdown pass, McCune to Dave Brandon, the tight end.
You know, Dave Brandon has executed that little drag block you talked about, almost like a brush block, Jed, 2 times today. Once on a big 4th down conversion on the first drive. On the second drive, nice little brush block, slides off into the end zone and picks up his first touchdown of the game.
Won't go anywhere yet. Southern Columbia has been in this spot before. Steel High had them on the ropes in the Eastern semis, and in the Eastern final, they had to pull off high drama to get through Tri-Valley. This is Paul Nazarchuk, and Southside Beaver is on him at about the 29-yard line. Dan Smith on special teams, along with Jeremy Reed. This is a big trip right now for Southern Columbia on offense.
Watch Nazarchuk here. Looks like he has plenty of room to come near side. It kind of pulls up, takes a little leap there, and gives a chance for the defense to get him stopped. But he had a lot of room coming around the near side.
I don't really think Southern Columbia's bunch of speed merchants. They just execute so very well. They've got enough speed to make things happen. Caskey on a keeper, and it's going to be Hornberger who got it from Caskey, and South Side Beaver did a lot better than I did figuring out the fake. Sean McCune in on the stop. Mark, you talk about some of the defensive numbers with this guy. He's a great quarterback, but he might be looked at by collegiate scouts at the next level defensively.
Yeah, no question about it. We told you what a tremendous athlete Sean McCune is. Well, you know, he's such a great athlete that they blitz him a lot from his cornerback spot, and he's got 6 tackles this season for losses. So he's very effective on the blitz as well. So look for that throughout the game.
Well, last week he had 5 touchdown passes, 3 interceptions, and then punted twice for 97 yards. Caskey throwing long, Hornberger this time, and McCune almost got his 8th interception of the year. One hand grab goes awry at the 40. That was a tough play. Playing center field back there.
You watch the formation, Jed, and really it's very, very tight. Makes it much harder to see as far as your fakes, your handoff, a little bit of counter motion that's going to go in there. And so watch how tight these formations are for Southern Columbia as they line up again.
In the second quarter of play, Southside Beaver out to the 12-0 lead. Caskey back on 3rd and 14. Gonna unload, has a man incomplete. Jeff Lowry, the intended receiver. Good coverage, Dan Smith. McCune also helping out. Southern Columbia will be forced to punt again, a 3-and-out. That hurts them.
That was just a simple square out. Lowry kind of lofted the ball. The coverage was there, as you said, by Dan Smith. Corner one-on-one coverage out there, and made the play defensively. Here you see quarterback Caskey.
And he came dangerously close to going over the line that time before he made the pass.
High punt. It's going to be McCune at his own 38-yard line. He slams forward, and he's got midfield. Sensational field position again for Southside Beaver, riding the lead at 12-0 right now and sitting pretty.
I'll tell you what, Southside, they enter this title game out of the WPIAL's Big 7 conference. That is one tough conference. For the 7th time in 10 years, that conference is sending the Western champion to the state title game. His current record is 3-3 in title games. Farrell won in 95 and 96.
Rochester last year.
Rochester last year. Unfortunately for Jim Roth's Southern Columbia Tigers, all 3 of those victories came against Southern Columbia.
Motion man is Nail. Kuhn, play action. Throwing, has a man. It's Lewis, caught. Big yardage inside the 30 to the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 25. Jared Lewis on another grab. 5'9" senior. He was wide open. McCune just laid this ball perfectly in there.
Lewis just kind of hangs around the backfield, and then he'll loop to the outside. Wide open again in that same area they've been hitting all afternoon, and then barreling his way downfield inside the 30-yard line near the 25.
Lewis wide open just behind the linebackers. It was not a perfectly thrown ball. Lewis had to make an adjustment, but made that adjustment, hauled it in. Big play once again from Southside Beaver. They're on the march with a 12-0 lead into Southern Columbia territory at the 26.
Jim Roth, the head coach at Southern Columbia, calls the Big 7 the best single-A conference in the state where Southside Beaver comes from. So far, so good. McCune, play action again, almost intercepted.
It is.
Sean Conahan, did he come up with that? Unbelievable play at the 14-yard line. I didn't think he had any shot at that.
That's a big, huge interception for Sean Conahan, and nothing new for him. Sean Conahan comes in as the linebacker when Jim Roth switches to the 4-3 defense. He came up with a huge interception last week against Tri-Valley. 2 weeks ago against Steel High. Picks one off at the end zone just as Steel High looked like they were going to score and tie the game up. Conahan, this time a momentum changer, another big interception from the linebacker.
And you talk about a story there, and we'll tell you about it in a minute on Conahan.
Handoff. This is Nate Richard. Not much room to the outside. Southside Beaver pins him in. Well, they got to move the chains.
Sean Conahan, number 26, the guy just got the interception a moment ago. Major back surgery this past January. A lot of people didn't think he'd be playing football again. He had a crack in his lower vertebrae. He had 2 screws, 2 cables, and a bone graft put in. He came out and got popped in the first game this year after running track last season and said, hey, I haven't felt that good in a long time. Here he is playing football again when he shouldn't probably be doing that at all.
That's one tough kid.
His 56-yard interception saved them last week. Gall, nice catch. 20. Has the first down to the 26-yard line. Sean Gall made this play. Had to turn 180 degrees, caught it with his left hand, turned, and moves the chains.
Give credit to Caskey here for just waiting until Gall got to the open because he was being covered very well right there by Ray Tate. And then Gall takes off.
Nice play by Gall to haul it in and find some open spaces where Caskey could squeeze the ball in.
And Gall is just one of those great football players, a guy you just love to have in your program. Leads by example on and off the field. Caskey quick. Pitch going to be Nate Richard, nowhere to go. And the tackle is made by Boyd. Boyd is just a great defensive player. We call his name offensively a lot out of that fullback spot, but this is a guy with a nose for the football on this side out of his defensive line position.
It's actually a reverse handoff to Paul Nazarchik, who then hands off to Nate Richard, and it did not fool South Side Beavers right side of the line. As you were looking at number 35, Dan Nail, 6 foot, 160-pound senior.
Southern Columbia lost 4 yards. 2nd and 14 for the Tigers, trying to claw their way back. Caskey throws, pass is caught. It's going to be Nazarchik. He's still alive. She'll cross the 30, about the 32-yard line. And he needs about the 36, so it's going to be 3rd, let's call it 4, upcoming now for Southern Columbia to keep this drive going.
Very simple down and out by Nazarchik. Nice play out there catch, and almost picked off, and then Nazarchik finds his way and bangs outside the 30-yard line.
Anybody that wants to throw arrows at Hershey about the field, that gives you an example just how great this place is and how it's held up. No problem footwork there. Jeff Lowry's got it, but Dan Smith makes sure he doesn't get the first down. He's about 2 yards shy. Good solid technique, good solid play out of the quarterback position by Dan Smith. It'll be 4th and 1, and Jim Roth now with something to think about. Is he going to roll the dice or is he going to punt?
Square out thrown almost too early that time. Really didn't have a chance to ever get to the first down stakes. And
it's a big call here. He's going 4th and 1 at his own 35. If you don't make it, you open yourself up for second guessing here.
You've got momentum on your side right now, and it could either go away or stay with you big.
I understand what he's doing. He does not want them to play offense. It's Gall. It's close. It's real close. I'm not sure how this is going to go.
Let's watch the spot.
They're going to get first down, Southern Columbia. Not by a heck of a lot, though.
We've seen 2 gutsy calls in this game so far. One has already paid off for South Side Beaver. Keep that one in your mind there at 6:29 here in the second quarter as a big play to go for 4th down inside your own 40.
When was the last football game you were at? You saw a 4th down conversion. Both teams combined are 4 for 4 now. Caskey, and we've got a penalty. I think there's a movement on that offensive front for Southern Columbia.
Yeah, need his hand. Yep.
Only 3 penalties here in the
dead
first
ball
half so
foul.
far.
False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty for first down.
3 penalties in the ball game, all against Southern Columbia. There you see Coach Jim Roth and his coaching staff.
Gary Single. Officiating that you get at this level, it's the best in the state, being mixed and matched for all 4 state championship games. Well, 1st and 15 now. Caskey has really not gotten something vertically. Handoff Gall. Southside Beaver says not this time.
You
They
saw
crawl all over him at the line of scrimmage.
Crivellaro had that one smelled out right away. Watch him. He has his hands right around the legs of Gall immediately. Here he is. You see him hanging on.
Andy McCoy as well, the 6'2 junior. So they're looking at 2nd and 14, a gain of a yard. There is just not much room in the middle of the field right here for Southern Columbia to play with. They're going to try and get something, I think, to the outside. They hope. See the secondary for Southside Beaver, Mark. That was one of the keys to the football game. Their ability to play man-to-man.
That's exactly right.
McCune, make that Caskey back under the gun, and down he goes at the 28. In on the sack, Corey Boyd. Also there is Ray Tate, 6-foot senior.
Andy McCoy, big one getting helped up there. And here, this is what you call a coverage sack. Right back here, his receivers are running routes. And you know what? Safeties are back. The defensive backs are back. There's man-on-man coverage. And, you know, that coverage was excellent there in the secondary. We were just mentioning the Southside Beaver secondary can throw a blanket over some teams. And they really are throwing a blanket over Southern Columbia here. That was a coverage sack. Southern Columbia's got third and long, 3rd and 20.
Southern Columbia trying to keep the drive alive. Caskey back, looks, floats it out there, and Melnick was there, and I think Jeff Lowry may have bumped him coming back a little bit.
You know, it's interesting here with South Side Beaver. We talk about the speed of the defensive backs and that coverage sack 2 plays ago. But what they can do is they can take that speed and challenge you throughout the game, man for man, and that's what they're doing right now.
Sean Gall back to punt. Rob Melnick and McHugh. Gall gets it to turn over. Melnick, ball is loose, and Southern Columbia's at it at the 40-yard line. Oh, there's a big play there. Huge play for Southern Columbia, and Chris Grayson is in on the recovery. Johnny on the spot. First down, Southern Columbia at the South Side 40.
Oh, boy, and if you're Coach Glenn McDougal, this is exactly what you do not want to see from your South Side Beaver players. A big mistake right here at a crucial time. There you see the two intended punt returners bump into one another. The ball hits the floor, and Southern Columbia is right there to jump on it. Momentum goes to Southern Columbia once again.
Hornberger picks his way for about 2 or 3, and on the stop, Dave Brandon. He's on top of it. Jared Lewis on the bottom of the stack. It'll be second. We'll call it 7 upcoming now for Southern Columbia, where they got a big interception. Conahan to stop what looked to be another touchdown drive for Southside Beaver. Now you get the turnover, and Southern Columbia with their best field position of the afternoon and their best scoring chance right now.
And they're keeping Southside Beavers defense on the field for a long time.
Caskey, little quarterback keeper, steps outside, close to a first down, has it inside the 30 to about the 29.5-yard line. First down, Southern Columbia, dances out of bounds, stops the clock with 3:40 to go till halftime.
This is a great play by Caskey to keep running, keep the Pistons pumping. Watch number 21, the linebacker thinks they have him wrapped up right here. But no, he keeps moving, picks up about 3 more yards, good enough for the first down. Great play by quarterback Matt Caskey.
Good lead as well. Mark Kreischer as well on that front. First and 10, Southern Columbia. Their fans now with a nervous roar into the game. Caskey throws Lowry. That's his favorite target. Great open field tackle. Melnick making up a little bit right there for getting in on that fumbled punt with McCune.
Interesting look this time. Just take a 1-step drop, stand up straight, hit Lowry, and let him do the rest on his own and try to get out there one-on-one. And a good defensive play, as you mentioned out there, Jet.
It's a good safe pass, though, for Caskey. They have had nothing downfield vertically.
Rob Melnick get on that last tackle.
Porter into the game at a wide receiver spot. Caskey hands off to Gull. He's got a hole. He's still powering, and he's got a first down to about the 19-yard line. They still have plenty of time. Southern Columbia with 2 timeouts remaining. No need to panic, and they're beginning to get some thrust up front.
Yeah, here McCune, he may have just saved a touchdown. You know, he's there in the backfield, and I'll tell you what, he might have been the last line of defense. Sean Gall had a full head of steam, a lot of open field around him. If he does not, McCune does not hold on to the ankle of Sean Gall, he may go into the end zone.
You give Gall those first 5 yards to get that full head of steam, and it could be a long way the last 20, 25. That time they did a good job of really charging up and getting him before he made a big game.
12-0, Southside Beaver, but you get a feeling Southern Columbia weathering a first-half storm right here, thanks to a couple of turnovers.
This is certainly a drive, Jeff, where Southern Columbia really feels like they've got to come away with points. They've been given 2 gifts, and here they are now.
Do not want to make an empty trip. Caskey, just a quick center, bang, snap, yard or 2, that's it. Dave Brandon in on the stop. You hear the officials. We have them mic'd. Get up. There it is, the big guys.
Second effort's going to get him that needed 3 inches that he needed, that's for sure.
So that's a big red zone possession for Southern Columbia. Ball officially at the 19-yard line. Apparently he might have been 3 inches short. Not anymore. First and 10, Southern Columbia. Caskey, Hornberger, step around move, not much into the middle of the field. Andy McCoy is in on the stop for Southside Beaver. Also there is Justin Tiller, the senior linebacker.
Sean McCune, number 1, sticking his nose in there again. There's Justin Tiller. But linebacker, very fine linebacker, too. He's played a heck of a first half. You see the under 2 minutes here in the first half of play.
Second down, right.
Southern Columbia trailing 12-0, but they've got their best shot at the score here right now. They're at the South Side Beaver 17-yard line.
Caskey, quarterback keeper. Big hole inside the 10, still going. Touchdown, Caskey. 17 yards. Southern Columbia is right back in the football game with 1:34 to go in the second quarter.
Design play here. Matt Caskey fakes it and then just gets in behind the wall of blockers. Southside Beaver has a chance right here to hang on to him. Can't quite do it, and Caskey heads for pay dirt and in for 6 for Southern Columbia.
Here you're going to see it from a different angle. You're like the linebacker right here. You're Justin Tiller, and you're watching Matt Caskey, the quarterback, take it as Southern Columbia knocks the extra point through. So they're within 5, 12-7. Southern Columbia with a touchdown, capitalized on the turnover. They made it hurt.
Lindemuth is perfect on the extra point, and again, great strike.
I don't know. What do you think? Short or not? It's 134.
Privalero trying to hold on to him there, Jed, and just the strength of Caskey pushing away, great leg speed, getting into the end zone, and Southern Columbia cashing in on 2 big mistakes by Southside Beaver.
Well, he's only a junior. Minute 34 for that drive off the fumbled punt. And it's a 7-play drive and a 17-yard run by Caskey, who came into this football game known for his legs a little bit. He's very crafty on his feet, and he came in with 368 yards. That's a big, big turn of events, because Southern Columbia thoroughly outplayed for about a quarter and a half. And the interception by Conahan woke it up a little bit. And then the fumbled punt, just a huge play and 2 missed extra points. And they had the football for a total of 6 minutes and 58 seconds with both of those drives combined. So that helps offset Southside Beaver's opening drive of the football game, which was 7 minutes and 16 seconds. These two teams love to play keep away. It's going to be McCune. And Southern Columbia, good coverage to the 25-yard line that time. And Southside Beaver with 3 timeouts to play with and 1 minute and 26 seconds worth of clock.
Kind of interesting there again. We almost saw the same problem that developed on the punt return, and you can see McCune over there talking about it. McCune and Merle Thompson seemed to have it coming into his hand. McCune went over and took it away, and that's how the fumble was caused the last time on the punt return.
Yeah, there's got to be better communication back there. Well, Southern Columbia, they've been coming back from from seemingly high odds all year. We mentioned that they started the season at 2-2, and the odds were at that time that they weren't even going to hit the playoffs. But Coach Jim Ross kind of whipped up the team, a couple of big regular season victories against Marion Catholic and Selinsgrove, and here they are at the state finals again.
McCune just dropped some luggage in at the 34-yard line. Beautifully done. Melnick on the reception. It's a gain of 9 for Southside Beaver. That's just a heck of a throw.
Robbie Melnick on a square out. McCune looking right toward the line, leads him nicely. Melnick with a nice pair of hands, catches it, makes sure he has his bearings, and gets brought down very quickly.
Like he's in the second floor window. Boom, dropping something out at you there. He's 8 for 11 in this game for 119 yards.
I'm also impressed by his footwork. You saw that drop back, and he was looking at the receiver the whole way, but he had some good field vision. He's very graceful out there on the quarterback spot.
Nailed. Take that, Dan Smith. Smith looking to throw. He's going to run for a first down. Now he's loose in the clear all the way to the Southern Columbia 49-yard line. It's a gain of 16 and a face mask at the end of it, and that'll be 15 more on top of that. Here comes Southside Beaver, 3 timeouts, 107, and a big play here.
Watch Dan Smith right here, fake like he's going to throw it, and then freezes everyone, takes off down the field, and you'll see him go right down the sideline here for a long, long game.
The receiver Smith was looking at was Dave Brandon, the tight end, did a fly straight down the field, but he was picked up by the safeties. Great coverage from Southern Columbia. That could have been a huge play.
On the defense, 15 yards, on the end of the run, first down.
That's a good call. That needed to be 15 yards because he may score without that play. That's why they're getting full value. So we've got ball at the 34-yard line. 1st and 10, South Side Beaver on the lead at 12-7. Very entertaining game thus far. The lid lifter to 4 this weekend here at the Hershey Park Stadium. Delighted to have you along the Pennsylvania Cable Network. Motion man is Nail. McCune going to pitch back to him. He's got the corner. Has 5, and he's got about 7 or 8 to the 25-yard line. 2nd and short upcoming. Timeout, Southside Beaver. 58 seconds to go. Good clock management here by head coach Glenn McDougal.
Watch the left side of the line here. Good seal blocks. Good block out front by Jared Lewis right there. And once again, big yardage on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and 1 for Southside Beaver.
So far in the first half, when the ball has touched Dan Nail's hands, great things have happened for this team.
Dan Smith, too. They've got 2 guys like that. There's some of the big fellas. Look at Heath Barrett. He's number 74, and he's an all-state candidate. And Ted Nowitzki, 5'10", junior.
That Barrett, his uniform's dirty for a reason. 5'9", 205. He goes both ways, guard and linebacker, and he's excellent in both positions. As Glenn McDougal and the Southside Beaver
15 seconds.
Rams are talking it over.
They have 2 timeouts left.
He doesn't get any downs. There you hear the referee, Gary Sengel, telling the staff you've got 2 timeouts remaining. They have it here on the board. Tell you what, the field has held up very well. Took some rain here today. Mentioned they saw that one play by the boundary, the out of bound. No problem with footwork at all. This turf has held marvelously.
And where the grass looks a little thin, that is not dirt underneath. That's a sand-based. It has a very good consistency where it doesn't puddle up, as they say. There is grass on there. The up's just very short, but the grass, where it is somewhat sparse, it's kind of a sand base. It drains very well.
2 weeks ago, we did 4 soccer games in the district football championship on this field in one day. The last game of the day, a soccer championship played, and not one slip anywhere.
12-7. This is considered one of the best surfaces outdoor soccer-wise. Intercepted and dropped. Oh, my goodness.
Conahan had pay dirt if he could hang on to that one, and he knows it. Oh, my.
Look
Wide
at this.
Open.
Watch this once again. There's Sean Conahan out of his linebacker spot. They're playing that 4-3, and it just hit him right in the hands. And if you could see beyond Conahan, there is nothing but open field. He had a sprint to the end zone.
You talk about the old red dog blitz, and there it was. The linebackers coming from every direction.
They tried a waggle comeback, and Conahan was right in the lane, and he catches that. It's 13-12 Southern Columbia. What a turn of events that could have been.
You can just hear McCune. He's a heady football player, and he's probably telling his teammates not, okay, I won't do that again. So
he's got a nice short memory, which all good quarterbacks need. He's hurling it back up again. Got interference down there at the 4-yard line. That's 15 yards in high school football. And that'll make 3rd and 1, 1st and 10, and they'll take that football deep into Southern Columbia territory after the mark-off.
Benbenek's going to argue his case here, but there's no case to argue. He was tied up down there with Nail. You can see it right here, tied up on the play, and there's no question about it. Good call by the official, and you see the yellow flag go down.
Garrett Benbenek, he had his hands full down there trying to... That's a 50-50 ball at about the 4-yard line, and everybody jockeying for position. Let's go down on the field. They'll give us the official verdict here. Here it is.
We have pass interference against the defense. Penalty will be half the distance to the goal line. 1st down.
Pass interference calls never play well with one side of the stadium. Well, everybody on the other side say, well, absolutely.
The booing that you hear there is with your heart, not your mind.
It's like the face mask call. Hello. McHugh going to pitch it. This is Nail trying to get to the outside. Sensational play. Benbenek, who just got flagged for the interference, comes up and makes a big stop at the 15. A loss on the play. And another timeout, Southside Beaver. They've got 1 remaining with 36 seconds left.
It's called channeling frustration and the determination. As you see Benbenek with a great play, he sniffs out the pitch and knocks it down.
Entertaining football game. We really all 4 games this week. Tonight at 7. Make sure you're here. Strathaven, West Allegheny on PCM. West Allegheny's got just great skill people. Tyler Palco, sophomore quarterback. Wait till you get a handle on this Mark Jones of Strathaven going to the University of Tennessee. A beam him up Scotty, 4.35 speed, going play wide receiver for the Volunteers.
And if you like your football with a defensive flavor to it, well, you're going to want to tune in at 7 o'clock. These two teams have combined to record 15 shutouts throughout the season. These guys have incredible defenses, and I'm excited about seeing Mark Jones, who is one of the premier players in the state. He's off to the University of Tennessee after he's done at Strathaven, so that'll be a beauty. West Allegheny, Strathaven, 7 o'clock tonight for the AAA title.
Southern Columbia has been penalized 5 times for 41 yards, 2 on this drive. Pass interference and a face mask for 15. Blitz is coming, and they've got McCune in a pile at the 25. Big loss on the play, and Sean Conahan in on the blitz and in on the sack. Timeout. South Side Beaver with 24 seconds left.
Very simple. Outside linebacker Sean Conahan comes flying in from the left-hand side, hits McCune, wraps him up. Big sack for the Southern Columbia defense.
Red dog blitz, I like to call it. The blitz for the linebacker spot. And if you want to pick a player of the game so far defensively, I'd throw a little nomination in for Mr. Conahan. He's been tough everywhere he's been on the field.
He sure has. He's
nice Italian boy.
Oh, yeah.
He's come up with big plays throughout the year.
You think there might have been an O in front of that name at one time?
Maybe. I have a feeling you're right. I know I'm kidding.
You know, it's interesting. You look at these two teams so far. Just when Southern Columbia thought they had momentum back on their side, here comes South Side Beaver marching down the field. Southern Columbia rises up again. And now you wonder, can you get into field goal position here with 24 seconds to go in the first half? They've got a nice field goal kicker, but he's only had 1 field goal attempt all year, and he knocked that down.
Well, they're going to the end zone twice with this. Yep. I don't think there's any doubt.
Jared Lewis is the field goal kicker for this team. He's had 58 points after touchdown this year, but certainly this is a team that likes to think in terms of 6, not 3.
Well, it's 3rd and 22. They need the 3 for a first down. So he's going to throw a jump ball into the end zone. Don't be surprised if it's Dan Smith. McCune back. Oh, little shovel pass to Nail, and he's nailed at the 31-yard line. Well, they tried a little trickery. Soames in on the stop for Southern Columbia. I mean, it's worth a shot, but unless Nail gets through the initial pursuit, there's no chance for this play to work.
Soames, only a sophomore, smelled that play out so well, number 86.
Yeah, he sure did. He shook his block and got right into the middle of things.
Let's go down on the field. Jerry Singles got a call.
Personal foul. Just the defense.
May have caught that second hit after he was down.
That's a killer.
That's an automatic first down.
That's the 6th penalty of the first half against Southern Columbia, against none so far.
There it is, right there. That's what they're calling. And they're hitting Nick Fisher with a late hit.
Here it comes. Watch it dive. 79, right there. Coming in on him, and he gets nailed for the penalty. Does Nick Fisher.
That's the third penalty of 15 yards against Southern Columbia in this drive, which is now 8 plays old with 15 seconds left. Southside Beaver with no timeouts remaining.
They're going to kick it here.
They are going to try a field goal.
Jared Lewis, the 5'9" senior, lining it up.
We think with these athletes, I'll tell you what.
Who knows? Nail just take off and run with
That's right. Len McDougal has a lot of assets here offensively.
35-yarder.
Ball is up, and it is good. He knocked it down.
35-yard field goal from Jared Lewis, and Southside Beaver takes Mr. Moe into the locker room with them, apparently. Look at this.
He knocked that pretty good. Well, he is a All-State nominee as a place kicker. Just got it inside the barrel.
When was the last time we saw a straight-on place kicker?
You're going to see one in the Mount Carmel game tomorrow. They say is a real throwback. Name is Scott Gumo, and they say he looks like Lou Groza Jr.
Where else would you expect him to come from than Mount Carmel, right?
Absolutely. Got an officials timeout right now. 4 seconds remaining till halftime. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a mini break, and then we'll be back with halftime highlights, statistics, and then, of course, exciting second-half action here of this single-A championship, which has been most entertaining thus far, 15-7. For those of you watching the PIAA football finals at home, you're tuned to the Pennsylvania Cable Network, a public service of your local cable television company. Welcome. Jed Donahue, the coach, Gary Sutton, Mark Shuey. We are live at the Hershey Park Stadium. First of 4 games tonight, West Allegheny, Strathaven. Tomorrow at high noon, Mount Carmel against Tyrone, a rematch of their 1996 game. And then Saturday evening, the main event. First time 2 nationally ranked teams have ever met in this environment. Number 3 nationally, Central Bucks West against the 9th team nationally in this week's USA Today poll, Erie Cathedral Prep.
You know, it's like having a smorgasbord and having a main course served to you 4 times over the weekend.
Well, this weekend is slowly, well, it's not slowly, it is turning into one of the premier sporting events in the state. Just look at the media crush that is here. Satellite trucks everywhere. Little Purdue kick going to be recovered by Southern Columbia and Mike Fox, the good hands people. They didn't even move the clock. That should be one more play to go, and then we'll take a break. Well, what do you think of this first half? I think Southern Columbia's weathered the storm. I think the way they have been outplayed for about 6 minutes and 30 seconds between those 2 drives combined on the turnover. And let's have a look at the first half highlights. Southern Columbia, surprisingly, with a minute advantage in time of possession. But again, South Side Beaver. Here's 4th down, Mark, off the fake punt.
Yeah, this is the first drive of the ball game. It's a fake punt, and it's a big 26-yard gain. Quarterback, punter, Sean McCoon to Dan Nail. And I'll tell you, those 2 have hooked up throughout the first half of play, and that kept the Southside Beaver drive alive. One of 3 successful 4th down conversions on the drive. And it capped off this touchdown run by Corey Boyd. Slamming in from 2 yards out, Corey Boyd, 200-plus pounds, tumbles into the end zone, capping a 14-play drive, which chewed 17-16 off the clock. And then we're going to see pass completion. That is number 86. That's Dan Smith dancing down the sidelines. That was good for a first down. Smith keeping his feet and heading downfield for a big pass completion. Sean McCoon, Southside Beaver quarterback, excellent job running the Delaware wing T. Here we're going to look at the second touchdown for Southside Beaver. It's a shot to Dave Brandon, the tight end, caps a 7-play drive, 5-yard touchdown pass. Brandon scores. Now we're going to see things start to change a little bit. McCoon intercepted by Sean Conahan, the fine linebacker from Southern Columbia, and that stopped the Southside Beaver scoring drive and gave Southern Columbia momentum. Gave them more momentum moments later. Here, a muff punt. That's Rob Melnick, and Southern Columbia falls on it at about the 25-yard line. Moments later, Southern Columbia capitalized on that fumbled punt. It's a 17-yard touchdown run from quarterback Matt Caskey. Watch as he breaks a couple of tackles, shakes the linebacker there, and then he's into the end zone for a 17-yard touchdown run at the 1:34 mark of the second quarter. It's 12-7 at this point. Southern Columbia creeping back into the ball game. And at the very end of the half, Southern Columbia has the ball again. They're looking for lightning in a bottle, the old Hail Mary, and we've got it from the end zone cam. It's coming right into your living room here. Matt Caskey lofting it into the air. It is caught. Southern Columbia's Andy Hornberger comes down with it, but the time ran out, and that's the end of the first half. A very entertaining first half of play here in the PIAA Single A Football Championship. 15-7 is the score at the half.
Let's go down to the field. The coach, Gary Sutton, with a special guest, Melissa Nash, with a PIAA. Gary?
We're with Melissa Nash, the Assistant Executive Director of the PIAA, and you can see how cold I am down here. I'm already stuttering on my words, Melissa. But there's actually 5 of Melissa. She's been running around here like there's 5 of her so far. And Melissa, certainly a great job thus far in the PIAA Championships.
Thank you, Gary. We put a lot of work in ahead of time, and it really helps when you have good people, such as the people here at Hershey, really putting things together for you. It really helps everything come off very nicely.
Melissa, the last championship of the millennium, certainly a very special time for the PIAA and high school football.
Yeah, absolutely. And so far, starting off with the first game, we've had a great turnout. The fans are here. They're enjoying themselves. And Hershey's been doing a great job for us. And so far, the teams that are out there having a great game. And we're really looking forward to the following 3 games.
One of the major concerns so far has been the field, but the field seems to be holding up very, very well.
Yeah, we were worried about it at first. We watched all the rain coming down, and you know, ahead of time we were thinking about any problems that we would have. But the field really took the rain really well, and we haven't had any problems. It's really holding up better than what we expected.
When you set up the championships here at Hershey, what's the hardest thing for you amidst the list that you have?
Well, I really handle the media, so there's many things that come forward. You know, you have your TV, your print, and your cable, and all those issues. But really, it's getting all the legwork done ahead of time, and if you can get past that, everything pretty much runs smoothly from there out.
What's it mean having these games broadcast live throughout the state of Pennsylvania to the PIAA?
Oh, it's great for the PIAA. It's statewide exposure for our championships. It's not only great for PIAA, but it's best for the student athletes and the teams and the schools.
Certainly sportsmanship comes into play anytime you talk about a PIAA state championship, and today we see exemplary sportsmanship on the field.
Oh, absolutely, and that's exactly right. That's what we want to see out there. And it's great to watch kids pick each other up from the, you know, after they've been tackled and help each other, and you can really see it when they shake hands at the end of the game. It's great sportsmanship.
Now, I heard one bad thing said about you so far today, Melissa, and I've got to share this with the fans out there. They said you were the one in charge of switching the switch on to close the dome here, and you didn't get to it in time.
I wish I could have, I really do, but it's stopped now, so we're hoping it doesn't start up again, and I'll keep my fingers crossed and put in any good word that I can.
Melissa Nash, Assistant Executive Director of the PIAA, doing a great job here at the PIAA Football Championships at Hershey Stadium. Jed?
Thank you, Gary. Melissa running around keeping all of the media happy. Again, we've got them from all over Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, and everything in between. 15-7, and talking to a lot of the coaches here that are up in the box and a lot of the other experts. I think Southern Columbia, Mark, fortunate again to only be down 8 at the break.
Yeah, they're fortunate. They did some good things, but they did some bad things. They too many penalties, and they did capitalize on the one turnover that produced the lone Southern Columbia. Probably going to see more of him in the second half take control of this ball game.
Strange observation. For Southern Columbia to answer that last score, even though it was only a 3, to start the second half.
High end-over-end kick. Hornberger camps under to the 25. Has momentum. Now gets to the corner. Good positive yardage to the 44, and he's hurled out of bounds from there. Good starting spot for the Tigers of Southern Columbia. Matt Caskey, their quarterback, with a 17-yard touchdown run, and here's Hornberger setting him up in good shape early.
Watch this jute, then getting to the outside. Good turn there, and then scooting to the outside. You can see again the constitution of the field, very, very solid.
Yeah, the South Side Beaver specialty teams did not break the wedge of Southern Columbia, and he had a lane to the outside. Just the speed of McCoon back there pushed him out of bounds.
Ball on the 44. Caskey, second man through. Sean Gall. He didn't get a lot of touches in the opening half. One of the reasons why there hadn't been a lot of real estate in the middle. Southside Beaver has really choked that up. The tackle made by Kevin Crivellaro.
Yeah, Southern Columbia, they primarily use the fullback, Sean Gale, to carry the water, but 2 very good halfbacks, the tandem of Nate Richard and Andy Hornberger. They've combined for nearly 1,200 yards out of the tailback spot for Southern Columbia this season.
Caskey, quarterback keeper, slithers across midfield to the south side 49-yard line. Tackle is going to be made by Justin Tiller of Southside. The Rams, ram tough so far. Ram tough down ahead for Southern Columbia. It'll be 3rd and about 3.
Faking the handoff again is Caskey, and you see him diving up near the, or just inside the 50-yard line into territory on the other side, occupied by Southside Beaver.
That's a big 3rd down for Southern Columbia to try and move the chains and gain momentum. Handoff, Gall, nothing doing there. He's short. Tackle is made underneath Andy McCoy. He's been all over the place for Southside Beaver today. Dan Smith also on top of the stack. It'll be 4th down. Well, if Jim Roth goes on his own 35, when you're at Southside's 48, this is no big deal.
There you saw Andy McCoy just knifing under and stopping Sean Gale short of the 1st down. Jim Roth has a decision to make. It'll be 4th down and 2 yards to go.
Second time he's rolled the dice this afternoon.
I say play action here. Rolkowski can run or throw for him. They go to Gall, spinning. He didn't get there. He's about a yard shy. Quick handoff, and they had no surge. Dan Nail is there. Let's see who's on the bottom.
I'll tell you.
It's McCune.
I'll tell you who's at the bottom of the pile, and that is Sean McCune. Look at him knife in out of his safety spot. That is an amazing play. Like we said, they like to blitz this kid. He's such a great athlete. He can do a lot of things on the football field. That time they elected to charge him up to the line of scrimmage on a blitz, and he nailed Sean Gall short of the first down.
A little surprising, Jed, in that there were 8 guys in the box that time. A little deception, as you suggested, might have been the right play.
That's a big 4th down stop for the South Side Beaver defense. They'll take over at their own 48-yard line. Nail the motion man. This is a big bruising fullback Corey Boyd, 5'7" and packs a wallop of 212 pounds. Came in as the leading rusher. He's got 1,241 yards on the year. There he is, dirt on his uniform. Is this football weather or what? This is Pennsylvania. You're not in the banana belt here. A little mud, a little grass.
For those old Colt fans, if you're looking at this game, no, that's not Don Nottingham down there. That's Corey Boyd.
Same number, too, if I remember correctly.
McHugh changing the play, I think, at the line of scrimmage. Ball right at midfield. Here, little quarterback keeper. Saw a seam. Pretty positive play to the 44-yard line, short of a first down, gain of 6. 3rd and 2 upcoming Southside Beaver. They haven't been all that hot on 3rd down today as far as converting, but here's some of the surge and the decision making.
When you look at the qualities of this kid McCune, the one that comes to mind most is the term poise. He seems to be able to take his time, set his blockers up, look the field over, and make right decisions.
You know, Southern Columbia played against quick offenses of Tri-Valley and Steel High and very talented quarterbacks, David Bowers and John Walchak, and that seemed to help Southern Columbia prepare for a good running and throwing team. But I'll tell you, this McCune is far more talented than probably any athlete they've seen this year.
Boyd, big hole, first down, lot more, 5-10 to the 30-yard line, a gain of 15, and a first down, Southside Beaver. That hole blew wide open.
Andy Hornberger gets to play a little piggyback here, too. Watch the last 6 yards with Andy Hornberger on the back of Corey Boyd. Here you see Boyd just blasting up the right-hand side. Now, Hornberger will jump on his back right here and just hangs on for dear life. Here you see it from another angle.
Great kick-out block, too. Heath, Barrett.
Hornberger right there, jumping on and just hanging on and saying, please come down.
Barrett's only 205, but technique-wise, he's flawless, pristine type player. That time spread the hole. Lewis, the motion man, they'll go right back to Boyd, slamming, pulling, and dragging for a gain of 8 or 9. And this is one of these message drives. Mike Fox on the stop for Southern Columbia, but now we're beginning to see the kind of power football that Southside brings to the table.
What's even more impressive here, 9 guys in the box on that running play, and Boyd still slams through the middle of that offensive line leading the way.
Yeah, nothing fancy there. Slow with the head and move forward. Like you said, Gary, 9 guys in the box, and Corey Boyd, 200 pounds plus, picks up positive yardage. It'll be second down and a short 2.
Cradling the pumpkin, too, with both arms. Didn't want to turn it over. McCune, step around move. Not much there. That may have been a busted play. He stuck it in the gut of Boyd that time. Went, maybe I'll step back. That time, Southern Columbia caught up to the quarterback, who's going now for some last-minute decisions from Glenn McDougall over on the Southside Beaver side. Mark?
Glenn McDougall, he's been the Southside Beaver head coach since 1992. His record is 54, 29, and 2. He grew up in this school district where he now coaches, and he said he has been waiting for this moment since he was 7 years old in 1970 and watched Southside Beaver win the WPIAL championship with his mom in a freezing cold stadium.
3rd and 2. This a big play for the Southern Columbia defense. Handoff goes to Boyd. Big hole, has 5, has the corner inside the 10. Still going to the 3-yard line, and it's a gain of 18. And a first down, Southside Beaver knocking on the Southern Columbia door at the 3-yard line.
You take a look, he dodges the first tackle of Lindenmuth. You can't bring him down one-on-one. Here's Lindenmuth coming across to get him, and then nails 3 more guys. Excuse me, that was Ben Bennick. 3 more guys here finally have to bring him down. He carries them another 5 yards.
Yeah, Boyd has a full 30 pounds on Benbenek here as Benbenek tries to tackle him up around the shoulders. That's not going to happen. And Corey Boyd just so strong. Look at him dragging the pile down towards the goal line. First and goal inside the 5-yard line.
This drive started at their own 48 after they stopped Southern Columbia on downs. Handoff. This is Lewis. He's got kind of a fresh-looking threads there.
Stop. That's good.
Uniform clean.
Very good.
Maybe a yard or two. You hear the officials unsorting things.
Second and goal. Second and goal.
I don't know if that was Lewis. That was James Silsley, 5'6" junior. That's why he hadn't carried it yet. That's why his uniform's clean. There's some of this large crowd that's here for the Single A championship. South Side Beaver fans making their way all the way up from the Pittsburgh area. And Southern Columbia, they're about an hour away. They're used to coming to the state championship. In their 5th trip in the last 6 years, but right now trying to weather a storm. Ball is free. McCune picks it up. Now McCune running for dear life, spins out of trouble at the 5. Touchdown! What a play, McCune. Southside Beaver, sensational play, averting near disaster off the snap. Scrambled around, no flags, touchdown.
Well, the ultimate look when the ball is bouncing your way, it's bouncing your way. Watch McCune, never has control of it. Bounces out, he picks it up, turns around, heads aside, says, uh-oh, looks for a pass, nothing there, dodges another tackler, 360-degree spin, and heads for the end zone, and only gets credit for a 2-yard touchdown run.
Well, that's a great athlete that can turn a broken play into a touchdown. He improvised the whole way, and he saw a lane on the left-hand side and took it in for the TD. That's great field vision and great improvisation from Sean McCune.
Jared Lewis on for the conversion, low line drive, and no good. He slid it wide. Timeout on the field, 6:05 left. The alarm bells have gone off. It's 21-7. Southside Beaver with another methodical 52-yard drive, capped off by a razzle-dazzle 2-yard run by McCune, who got a bad snap, scooped it up, found the pylon. Reminder that all of this great 1999 state football championship action, like this touchdown run, is being televised statewide on the Pennsylvania Cable Network, available to millions of state residents and fans of high school championship sports. And who wouldn't be a fan of that kind of run? Sean McCune, who marked probably at the next level collegiately. You're looking at him more on the defensive side of the football. He's a playmaker over there. But I like his work on offense. Again, they said he's a dynamic player. There are many who believe he's the best player in Single A. He's the best look in this house so far today.
Well, Bishop Carroll's head coach said he's the best athlete that they have seen all year. And, yeah, he not only is a defensive back of high caliber, he's a great quarterback, runs the Delaware wing team. Not an easy offense to run very well, but he's the team's punter. He executes punt returns. He's just a football player in every sense of the word. Sean McCune plays football.
Well, a 6-minute and 5-second drive. 8 plays, 52 yards. Southern Columbia. Nazarchik strides out of trouble. He's still alive to the 39-yard line. Positive return. Gutty run. Paul Nazarchik, 5'7", 165-pound senior right there, and he almost popped out of there with us.
Nothing fancy about this if you're Nazarchik. Run north and south and go straight ahead. Sheds the first tackle, just keeps on moving forward, slips 2 more, and dives out near the 40-yard line. And really, for a team that likes to thrive on ball control, you need a shorter field right now if you're to get back in this game. You're Southern Columbia.
Southern Columbia, the moment of truth, the time is now to get moving. You're down 14 with 5:58 left. We're in the 3rd quarter. Kasky on a keeper. Check that. It's going to be, I believe, Gall. He did one of those wild handoffs, a gain of maybe a yard. That's it. Hornberger make it.
Little wrap.
I told you this wing tee. You think it's bad on defenses.
Well, about 5 different guys touched the ball.
Sit in my shoes for a minute here.
Well, in basketball, we used to call that the old 3-man weave right there. Little inside wraparound handoff, and Hornberger ends up with the ball only about 3 yards on the carry.
It's like a layup drill with the Globetrotters right there.
It did not fool the Southside Beaver defense, though. Their quick pursuit snuffed that out in a hurry.
Only thing missing was the music.
Gain of 3. Kasky back. Looks. They haven't had anything vertical all day, and there's nothing there. Incomplete at the 30-yard line. They have really put a fence around Jeff Lowry today. Their leading wideout for Southern Columbia. They have had nothing with him downfield.
Dan Smith and McCune double coverage that time on him and really not letting anything get behind him at all.
Yeah, that's right. Smith had the coverage, and McCune just hanging back as the free safety. Coverage was there.
Again, the speed of South Side Beaver defensively. Southern Columbia just has not been able to solve it. 3rd and 7. Caskey back again, looking. Now he's under the gun. He's going to have to throw it on the run. Looks, throws, caught. Got a man. First down to the 25-yard line. Sensational play. Sean Conahan again. This time on offense with a big play.
Here's what happened. Sean Conahan comes out of the backfield. There you see Caskey looking for Conahan. Comes out of the backfield, and Nate Tiller, the number 21, the linebacker from South Side Beaver, has coverage responsibility. He just lets him go. He finds a seam behind the linebackers. Nice toss by Caskey. Big reception for Southern Columbia.
32 yards in all to the 24-yard line of South Side Beaver. Southern Columbia down but not out in driving here. Sean Gall, he's used to touching the ball a lot, came into the football game with a ton of carries, 293 in all. And if he's got 7 or 8 today, I'd be surprised. He got maybe 2 yards that time.
Reason why, Jed, they're really keen on him at the line of scrimmage, not allowing Sean Gall to get a start. He's not been able to break a big play all afternoon as a result. So Gall has been bottled up, which has forced Caskey to really do a lot of quarterback options and throws to the outside.
Caskey again, play fake, has room to the outside, positive yardage, spins and thrown out of bounds at about the 17-yard line, short of a first down. He'll need about the 15. It's been 3rd and short upcoming here.
And this is exactly what Gary was just talking about. They'd like to get the ball into Sean Gall's hands a little bit more, but right there, Caskey calls his own number. Picked up a couple on the play, but yeah, the reverses and the quarterback keepers and the little flare outs, those things are designed to try to loosen up that defense in order to get that ball into Sean Gall's hands a little bit.
Big 3rd and 3 coming here for Southern Columbia. Really the state championship riding on something positive in this drive. Pitch goes to Gall. Gall slithers and pounds inside the 15. He's got the first down. Depends on the spot. If he's inside the 15, it's a first down Southern Columbia. That's only the 10th carry today for Sean Gall. They're going to bring him across the field. Mark?
I'll tell you what, there was a great lead block that time by the right guard, Mark Kreischer. He's a 5'9", 220-pound senior.
First, it looks like a first.
You can hear they say it looks like a first down. It does from here.
You know, the interesting thing about the defense for South Side Beaver so far, it's basically like they're saying, we're going to take away everything up the gut from you. We think we've got enough speed on the outside to beat you there, and we see it here again as Gall getting a couple well-earned yards to get what appears to be and is a first down here in their march to try to get within hailing distance once again of South Side Beaver.
Well, this game has been as advertised. We expect all 4 to go pretty much to the wire all weekend long. That's only the 10th carry for Gall. They've held him in check. There's not been much room for him to play with today. He's got 26 yards total. Caskey will step under center. His great center, Mark Osavala. His brother played on the 1994 team as a quarterback. He's a 3rd-team All-Stater a year ago. They're going right back to Gall, a 3rd-teamer a season ago, to the 10. That's a gain of 5. Average yards on first down. The coach in the world's not going to tell you it's one of the most important stats in the game. And Southern Columbia now beginning to get good chunks on first down.
Hey, you mentioned the brother of Osavala. Yeah, Andy Hornberger's brother. Ricky played on that 1994 team that defeated Western Beaver in the state final 49-6. Ricky Hornberger on that 94 team. He's a defensive back and halfback, just like his little brother, Andy.
Coming to you from the end zone there. Now we come back up top. 2nd and 5. Gall head down 2 tough yards to about the 7 or 8. There's nothing subtle going on in there. This is just good old country hardball. Heath Barrett in on the stop, along with Rob Melnick. This is mono against mono time inside the 10.
2 things right now that Southern Columbia is trying to do. Number 1, keep that offense off the field for South Side Beaver. Number 2, get within hailing distance by the end of the quarter within 1 touchdown where they feel like they're back in the ball game.
They'll put Jeff Lowry wide. He's off your screen. He's the wide receiver and their touchdown maker. Caskey on a keeper. He's had positive yardage today. Close, moving, lunging, first down, and goal to go, Southern Columbia. Matt Caskey. It doesn't look like he's getting anywhere, but once he gets into the lane, Mark, he's got a pop to him.
Yeah, he sure does. Matt Caskey, he's got a lot of strength. Watch, he gets wrapped up right here. by the linebacker. Oh, that's
Ready, clock?
face mask there that inadvertent. But yeah, he gets wrapped up there right there by defensive lineman Kevin Cravallo, and still gets positive yardage.
Southern Columbia fans to their feet on 1st and goal at the 3. The handoff is going to be Nate Richard. Not much there. Dan Smith on the stack. Also Heath Barrett again. Barrett's been all over the place. Give Chris Simmons credit. Andy McCoy.
Yeah, these fellows on the interior line. Look at the hitting going on here.
Ray Tate turned that whole play to the inside. It looked like a free lane to the end zone for a moment for Richard, then Tate turned it inside.
Ray Tate took a shot up under the chin, fought off his block, turned the play inside, and stopped it.
This drive is now 4 minutes old. The 11th play of coming. 2nd and goal at the South Side 2. Southern Columbia. Hornberger's got a seam. Hornberger's got a touchdown. Southern Columbia, an 11-play drive. They're within 8. Conversion coming. Minute 51 left. This is a team that has had to play in the clutch in the state championship so far. They had their feet in the fire 2 weeks ago. Solved Steel High in the Eastern semis, 32-25. And then last week, a huge goal line stand and a 56-yard interception return by Sean Conahan jump-started their comeback effort 29-22 against Tri-Valley. The kick is up, and it is good. Linemuth has got it down the middle, and Southern Columbia is to within a touchdown. 1:51 left. There's Hornberger, who just got in from 2 yards out.
Gets in behind Big Nick Fisher. Is 245 pounds, 79, and just follows him into the end zone. And if you're going to go in the end zone, that's a nice blocker to have in front of you. He takes up a lot of space.
Well, Gary, you can talk to me from a coach's standpoint. One thing you always want to do when you see a close game or your kids in adverse situations, their ability to play in the clutch. For Southern Columbia, they've certainly solved that over the last couple of weeks. For South Side Beaver, on the other hand, they've been in blowouts for the most part. Their last tough out was Farrell back on the 29th of October. It's been a breeze since.
Jed, you can take on a blue-collar look as a team, and that's what Southern Columbia has done, and we saw it there. Huge, huge offensive scoring drive, ending up in a touchdown. Yeah, you're still down 7 points, but you know, right now you're playing with momentum absolutely on your side, but now the pressure switches to their defense, and really the pressure switches more to the South Side Beaver offense. They must now answer as we get ready to end the third quarter.
Lindemuth set for the kickoff. South Side Beaver, though, they are explosive on special teams. Ball is going to be run down and dropped, and falling down was Merle Thompson that time, the 5'9" senior. That's a tough play. You're looking for a ball there. You know the wave is coming at you a little bit. And again, for Southern Columbia, all momentum. Now, Mark, you really want to get active defensively. You want to start making it happen for yourself on this side of the football.
That's right. And now this is when the size of Southern Columbia may become an advantage for the Tigers, because they do have a heavy size advantage over Southside Beaver. So Southern Columbia's size now, as we head into the latter stages of the quarter number 3 and into the fourth quarter, their size may start to take control and wear down Southside Beaver a little bit.
21-14 is the score. Handoff going to be Corey Boyd. Not much room, maybe 3 yards. Tackle is made for Southern Columbia. On top of it, Mike Schaffler, 5'7", 195-pound junior.
You know what's funny, though? Boyd is the kind of guy that can look ugly on a play and get you 3 yards just on forward motion. His legs churn forward. He always is in a positive stance.
There's your time remaining up on your screen in the third quarter. In a pick'em game right now, it's 21-14. Southside Beaver on the lead by 7. Sean McCune has been brilliant today. A little flare-out pass and drop by Melnick. Heard footsteps, and they belong to All-Stater Brett Myers, who is coming with a vengeance.
And that's the way to play that if you're Brett Myers. He really couldn't see whether Melnick hung onto that ball or not, so he just put his head down and made the tackle nonetheless. Right here, slips through his hands, and Myers came in, head down, and made the hit. That's good coverage on the part of Brett Myers.
And guys, one of the things we talked about a lot in the first half, Dan Nail. He has not touched the ball one time in the second half so far. I wonder if we'll see him on this play.
Melnick lined off to one side. The Southern Columbia fans sensing momentum is shifting. It's 3rd and 7. The motion man is Nail. McCune will roll. McCune's got the corner. Has 5. Has 10 and a first down for South Side Beaver. What a clutch play by the senior quarterback. He's the one that talks to the team, win or lose at the end of every football game. This time, leads by example and finds the corner and moves the chains.
We talked about poise. Watch this again. When he gets right over here to the sideline, watch him check his feet just for a moment to make sure he has the first down. Right here. He'll look down and watch. Checks, make sure right there, and then just skitters forward to make sure he had the first down.
17 total yards on that cash and carry by McCune. First down, South Side Beaver. 1:01 remaining in this 3rd quarter. How clutch was that to move the chains and really take the wind out of Southern Columbia's sails. Now Boyd slams to the 33. Tackle made by Southern Columbia's Mike Schaffler again.
I'll tell you what, this boy, Corey Boyd runs real hard. Look at this. He just puts his head down. He can actually beat up a defense. Look at Brett Myers. They're trying to bring him down. Brett Myers in some pain there after a hit from Corey Boyd. He can really rough up a defense at better than 200 pounds, and he's built solidly, as you can see. Corey Boyd, a very effective runner, especially in this wing tee.
If McCune is defined by poise, then Corey is defined by balance. Corey Boyd, I'll tell you what, he's just constantly low to the ground, good center of gravity.
He just double parks in there and gets 3 to 5 yards a pop. This time they'll pitch to Lewis, try to get speed to the outside, to the corner, and a first down to the 40-yard line. Boy, Southside Beaver, the speed advantage prevalent here as they find the corner, and you get a sense that first down run by McCune really just sucked the air right out of Southern Columbia for now. Got one more play left in this 3rd quarter. So you see Lewis get the corner. Nothing subtle about this football game. There's a lot of heavy hitting going on. Paint swapping in the low areas, in the trenches. Kuhn will come out of center. 1st and 10 now. Southside on the lead by 7. Motion man is Nail. He's going to get his first touch of the second half, and down he goes. Lost maybe a yard or 2 on that play. Tackle is made. Brad Sones, 6'2", 195-pound sophomore.
Dan Nail, you know, the coaches tell us that he has just great instincts. He can find open spaces. That time he was just trying to kick it outside, but a good defensive play by Southern Columbia stops Dan Nail in the backfield.
Well, that's the end of the 3rd quarter of play. 21-14. Southside Beaver is on the lead. Want to remind you this telecast of high school state finals made possible by Pennsylvania Cable Television Companies, which carry PCN, the Pennsylvania Cable Network, on their channel lineup. If you're tuned in live to this championship action, be sure to thank your local cable company for supporting PCN and giving these high school athletes a much-deserved statewide audience.
You see a light rain falling down on your screen right now. That is not fog at all. Just a light mist. It really is not bothersome down there as you think it might be. Much better than that cold, steady stuff we had earlier.
There's not any wind at all. Early in the week, they were calling for temperatures, you know, no rain, the 50s. It's Pennsylvania. It's December. It's the 50s. Where's my sunscreen?
Well, Jed, I'm afraid if you want wind, we'll find it tomorrow.
Yeah, they're calling for windy conditions tomorrow.
But clear skies.
3rd quarter statistically. No yards passing for Southside Beaver. 82 yards on the ground. Southern Columbia 34 on the ground, 32 in the air. 21-14 is our score. Handoff Nail trying to get to the outside, and Southern Columbia is crawling all over him at the 34-yard line. Hornberger's the one that stopped the tide, and then everybody else caught up and slashed him down there.
The Southern Columbia defense is now keying on Dan Nail. There you see Hornberger come in, and he kind of pinched Nail in, turned him inside, got help from the rest of his mates, lost on the play.
You sense right now for Southern Columbia, they are really desperate to make sure that Southside Beaver cannot make the clock their friend. Because if they get on a drive, much like Southern Columbia did a few moments ago, it's all over.
21-14 is the score. Opening minute of the 4th quarter, the gold medal game in Single A, PIAA football championships. McCune, play action, under the gun, still alive, and down again at the 33. And Southern Columbia is really stepping on the pedal defensively here.
Nick Fisher is the guy that slowed up McCune that time and allowed his teammates to come in and finish him off. And this is another one of those red dog blitzes for the linebacker spot. Here they come.
Yeah, McCune didn't have much time at all. Good coverage downfield. You can see it.
There's
Sean
Fisher slowing
Conahan
down.
again.
Yeah.
Well, Conahan's just one of those players, does everything he needs to do.
Well, a guy that's recovered what he recovered from this past year, you already know about the heart.
A back problem, he's got screws. I mean, it's...
Cables and everything else.
He's like the game operation or whatever. High spiraling punt. It's going to take a South Side Beaver roll. That is a clutch kick by McCune all the way down to the 32-yard line. But for Southern Columbia, they step in for a pretty big trip offensively here at their own 32.
Hey, something to watch for on this drive as we head into some crucial time and some crucial plays here for Southern Columbia. There were a couple of times during the Tri-Valley game when Coach Jim Roth of Southern Columbia had some questions as to what to do. He let the players make a decision. So if he calls timeout in a crucial situation, goes out there, talks to the players, he may be letting them decide what they want to do.
And this time going to be Paul Nazarchik. You know, they tried Nate Richard down near the goal line, and I think he's really feeling the effects. He did fracture a fibula in the Danville game, and Nazarchik getting a few more touches because Richard had a run earlier, Mark, when somebody grabbed him around the ankle, and I don't think he's been the same since.
Well, Richard, the initial diagnosis was that he'd be out 8 weeks, and that was clearly well past the PIAA championship game.
Yeah, he came back in 5. Caskey, there's Lowry's first catch of the day to the 38-yard line. Gain of 4. It's still short of a first down. Jeff Lowry came into this game as the leading receiver.
If Southside Beaver has done one great thing throughout the afternoon, in addition to bottling up Gall, it's bottling up Lowry. They have not allowed Lowry to catch anything over really 10 yards all afternoon.
They've kept him in front. He came in averaging 15 yards a catch, 36 overall. That's his first of the day. It's third and a huge 4 for Southern Columbia to keep the drive moving. Zarchik moves, handoff Gall to the outside, and Southside's all over him at the 39-yard line. No sail. Everybody stayed home, and leading the way, Kevin Crivellaro. What a football player he is. Mark, on the corner here.
Yeah, watch Crivellaro head-to-head there, and Crivellaro brings him down. I'll tell you what, the line and the linebackers for Southside Beaver have been playing outstanding this afternoon, and the coverage has been there. Yeah, Matt Caskey has made some plays. He's gone vertically several times and found some open receivers, but I'll tell you, it's a tremendous defensive effort from Southside Beaver this afternoon.
Good kick by Gall. Sends McCune back to his 30. Now McCune reverses his field. Watch this guy if he can get to the corner, and a great play by Donald Spots. He's a junior, 5'10". Spots was about it. Otherwise, well, McCune might still be going here.
Anytime you're back there and watch an athlete like this field a punt, your head coach, Jim Roth of Southern Columbia, you breathe a sigh of relief when he finally hits the deck. Because I'll tell you, as long as this guy is loose with the football, we saw him improvise on that 2-yard touchdown run on a broken play. Anything can happen. He is dangerous from anywhere on the field,
saw the
literally.
Referee throw a pretty good screen for him right there just for a moment, but Southern Columbia able to run him down.
Not much left of the wave, though, after Spots that time. McCune's dangerous. Corey Boyd runs headstrong into Conahan, who's just been brilliant today for Southern Columbia. Gain of maybe a yard the hard way. This is just a wham-slam type play.
That is a tough assignment for the 200-pound Sean Conahan. Look at this. Here comes Corey Boyd. That big bulldozer comes running right at you, and Conahan didn't give up. Outside linebackers had quite an afternoon here for Southern Columbia.
Great pictures, as always, working with the WITF production crew. They're on it. Field level for you right there. Now they say no gain. Let's call it 2nd and 10. It's getting late now. We're in the 4th quarter at 8:20. Conahan, Kuhn kept it himself, looked for Nail, and nothing there. Good pressure by Mike Schaffler, who's really stepped it up in this second half. He's been tough today for Southern Columbia, especially in this 3rd and 4th quarter.
Yeah, Schaffler came on the blitz from the right side linebacker spot, and he very nearly got McCune from the blind side. And hey, seen a lot of bad things happen to teams when that happens. Quarterback gets hit from the blind side, but trying to throw a pass. that could be disaster.
In the first half, really, South Side Beaver was able to play offense at their pace. This half, they're having to play offense at the pace that Southern Columbia is really dictating.
3rd and 10 as McCune steps under center. Motion man. McCune, play actions. Got a man and overshot Smith at about the 45. That'll stop the clock with 8:11 to go, and McCune will drop back and punt. We talked 4th and 10.
We talked about the pace that Southern Columbia is dictating. You saw the last 2 plays as good examples where everything is a little bit rushed. Southern Columbia doing much more blitzing with their linebackers, literally 2 to 3 out of every 4 plays this half.
And likewise, they're going to have to go on man coverage. Jared Lewis was man on man down there on the left sideline, and Dan Smith just went on a fly straight down the middle, and man coverage there as well. The ball was simply overthrown.
Coming to you live from the Hershey Park Stadium. McCune, bad 9-iron shot. This will set Southern Columbia up beautifully so at the 48-yard line. Not much on that. It just went off the side of his foot. It looked like a bowling bag. And Southern Columbia down 7 in good shape.
And a short field to start with. You're only going to have to go 52 yards to try to march it into the end zone here in Southern Columbia with literally everything on their side so far this half.
21-yard punt by McCune.
Their defense has really changed the complexion of this game the entire second half.
Matt Caskey under center, handoff, going to be Gall. Gall slithers across midfield to about the south side 48-yard line. In on the stop, let's see, it's going to be Heath Barrett. No surprise there. He's up in double numbers now at tackles.
This is one of the bigger openings Sean Gall's had to run through in this second half of play. He only picked up about 4 yards on the play, but I mean, that tells you what this Southside Beaver defense has done up front.
It was McCune who lowered the shoulder there a little bit. Raw Friday afternoon in Hershey, 2nd and 6. Hornberger, wingback reverse, looking for the corner, gets a little bit of it to the 44. McCune sticks his shoulder down and flies him out.
I'll tell you who makes this play. That's number 55, Chad Rode-Armel, a 5'10", 210-pound senior. The right guard, left guard rather. Great seal block on the side, enabled Hornberger to get the corner and pick up about 4 yards on the play. Big 3rd down play for Jim Roth and the Southern Columbia Tigers right here.
He's been going to Gall every time this afternoon in this kind of situation. Maybe we could look for a Lowry pass here, although they're lined up with what appears to be a running formation.
Ball of the 45. Caskey on a keeper. He's had positive yardage all day. 1st down, Southern Columbia as he flies out at the 40-yard line. McCune again knocked him free.
That's been their most successful play all day, and the reason is Sean Gall being bottled up in the middle, which leaves Caskey to deal with the people on the outside, and you see it here again. He just fakes the handoff, turns, and gets behind a wall of blockers and heads for Bader.
9 carries for Caskey now and 45 yards.
Caskey's been a very effective runner throughout the football game. A 17-yard touchdown run in the 2nd quarter.
7:15. Caskey play action, looking under the gun, now throws down the middle, got a man, it's Conahan, 1st down to the 22. The tight end, Sean Conahan again. He's been the only thing downfield available for Caskey today, and Southern Columbia's on the move.
Looks like Conahan out of his tight end spot just does a lazy curl down the middle, very slow, got behind the linebackers, and there he is.
23 yards for number 26, the tight end for Southern Columbia, to the 23-yard line of Southside Beaver. Sean Gall, the lone setback for now, as Caskey stepping under center. He's going to roll, looking, under the gun, now throws on the fly and incomplete. He took a pop, too, right up near the 30-yard line. Andy McCoy.
So important to get those shoulders turned downfield, and I'm not so sure Caskey was able to do that well that time. Good defense by Southside Beaver, but Caskey trying to throw, running in what is really an odd direction for a right-handed thrower, was not able to square up.
Yeah, that's a good point, Gary, and the receiver was well covered. Dan Smith had great coverage downfield, so Caskey did well by just overthrowing the intended receiver.
6:49 remaining in the football game. 2nd down and 10 off the incompletion. Southern Columbia, they need a touchdown and a conversion to tie. Hornberger off the catch. Down he goes at the 21-yard line. Sean McCune, who seems to be everywhere today. Check that. That's not McCune. That's Rob Melnick on the stop, along with Dave Brandon. Numbers are getting hard to read, guys. 8s and 1s are coming together. The mud's kind of covering it up a little bit.
A lot of hard work has really wiped a few of those out there. 3rd down and 7, the most important. You got to think it's 2-down territory, obviously, at this point, but they look for Conahan the last time in the middle. Let's see what happens here.
Off your screen is Jeff Lowry and Dan Smith. That's an interesting matchup to watch. 3rd and 7. Caskey back. Now the pocket collapses. Caskey running for dear life, and down he goes. In on the stop, I believe, was Brandon again.
Yeah, Dave Brandon, linebacker here, as Caskey sees this coverage, and he can't find a receiver. So Brandon, right there in the middle, plugs the hole where Caskey was intending to cut it upfield and try to pick up the first down, but Caskey tried to improvise, and Brandon would have none of it. Good play defensively by Dave Brandon, 6'1", 195-pound senior.
One of the few times all afternoon we saw young Caskey get indecisive.
Right.
4th down and 8 now for Southern Columbia. Could be 4th down in the championship. Caskey back, floating in end zone. Lowry's there, touchdown! Jeff Lowry, what a throw by Caskey. They're a point away from tying it up. Lowry hasn't been available all day long until it mattered most.
Watch him square the shoulders this time. There it is. Shoulders squared, lofts it ahead. We've been looking for Lowry all day long, and there he is. And Lowry in for his first touchdown of the game and 1 point away.
Boy, I'll tell you, that's probably the first time that any receiver has gotten beyond Dan Smith. The coverage has been excellent back there all afternoon, but this time Jeff Lowry, career receptions leader at Southern Columbia, makes it count.
Lindemuth, conversion good, and we're right back where we started in maybe the best ever single-A final.
Look at his shoulders here, square, right when he throws it. And Lowry, who has not really seen daylight all day long, says, "Thank you very much. I'll take it home."
Matt Caskey.
Hey,
That's just, they wanted to throw the football a little bit more. He's got 16 touchdown passes now on the year.
How about that angle we just saw? It almost looked like we were back there on coverage with Dan Smith watching that ball float into the
nice
arms
thing
of
about
Lowry.
it is we didn't have to run over to the side and see the coach.
Beautiful work down there, guys.
What a game, 21-21 with 5:15 left to go.
There he is, Jeff Lowry, career receptions leader at Southern Columbia with his biggest reception of his career, a touchdown which ties the state championship game with 5:15 to go.
And no, Mark, there are not a lot of Scandinavians on that team. There are a lot of blonde hairs that got dyed over there.
8th play, 52-yard drive, 2 minutes and 42 seconds elapsed. And now Southside, they have plenty of time, no reason to panic. Got a great player in McCune. Been doing it all today on both sides of the football. Southern Columbia was down 21-7 and have just hung in there. High end overhand kick. McCune back at his own 6. He's dangerous if he can get a seam. McCune breaks out of there across the 30 to the 36-yard line, and again Jason Mills on the stop. Mills, a sophomore. Not much of the wave left after that. Big return by McCune.
Now Southside Beaver has a relatively short field to work with, as McCune, the most dangerous player on the field, bar none. Look at this. He has a seam. He's following his blockers. They break the wedge, and there he almost breaks it, but he's dragged down just outside the 35-yard line at the 36.
You talk about McCune and Caskey this half, though. McCune, nothing out of 3 so far in the passing department. Caskey, 5 of 7. McCune with the biggest possession of his career here in high school.
McCune into the shotgun. Pocket collapsing. Southern Columbia is on him at the 25. Brad Sones, the 6'2 sophomore, the first one to get there. Pressure from Nick Fisher as well.
Southern Columbia has thrown caution to the wind this half of the defensive side, and they are blitzing literally on every down right now and boxing in Sean McCune. Here you see it again. Wonderful job of keeping the play turned inside by Brad Sones.
If we go overtime, we'll go to the 10-yard line, and each team will get a series there.
There you saw some
play until we get a winner. 21-21. There's your time remaining. We're in the fourth quarter. Handoff, Nail. He has nothing there. That's only his second touch of the second half. This is a guy with 4 touchdown catches a week ago in the Western Final against Bishop Carroll. But Southern Columbia has had him pretty much penned in the second half.
It was his counter, and it stopped almost immediately by the Southern Columbia defense. Yeah, Dan Nail has virtually disappeared thanks to the Southern Columbia defense in this second half of play after such a very big first half.
Brilliant adjustments made at halftime, rather, by Coach Roth and his staff, and they have really bottled up this South Side Beaver team.
3rd and 20. Long pass. Caught. Melnick to the 49. What a sensational play by Melnick. Huge gain of 30 or so yards. You won't see a better catch. Melnick, who dropped a sure thing in their last series, comes up with the play of the game for Southside right now.
Just a fly pattern and keeps his eye on the ball the whole way and pulls it in. A great catch. And you talk about a huge play with 3:35 to go. There it is.
25 yards officially. Thank you, George Zurich, our official statistician here. Southside converts 3rd and 20 to the 49 of Southern Columbia. McCune under center. Now they'll run Big Boyd at it. Nope, McCune on a keeper. Second man through. Tackle underneath. Sean Conahan. And a lot of help from his friends. Nick Fisher is there, along with Sones again. Gary?
If I was going to run, I wouldn't mind getting in behind Boyd either. When he starts to move forward, people get out of the way.
He makes people get out of the way, I'll tell you.
Got to give Tom Smeltzer credit for that tackle. He's the last one up.
Great job again by Southern Columbia of jamming up that middle. And they have really done a brilliant job. We can't overstate how well they've adjusted for the second half defensively.
You got to think like Glenn McDougal now, who's saying, all right, let's try and score, but let's not leave Southern Columbia any sand in the glass or any ticks. And if we don't get anything, let's go to overtime if we have to. Lewis, nothing there. Southern Columbia is really just getting excited defensively. There was a breakdown on the one pass completion, but I mean, they have really stepped it up here.
They've gotten rather conservative in their last couple calls, and they're now in an obvious passing situation.
Well, I think, yeah, what Glenn McDougal's probably thinking is, okay, we don't have to win it here in one play, but let's not lose it. So, yeah, they're not going to get risky and start throwing the ball around. They're going to go with what worked for them very well in the first quarter of play, and that is the pitch and the Delaware wing tee and having Sean McCune direct the operations back there.
The one play we've not seen in the second half, basically because of Southern Columbia's defense, has been the pass to Smith or Nail in the middle of the field and that little down and in play.
Nail the motion man. Now McCune is back. Looks, throws, got a man, and it is, broken up. Great play. Al Sahaki, senior, 6-foot senior.
It looked like that pass was completed, and Sahaki steps up. Watch him come up out of his spot over there at cornerback. Here it is. Looks like it's going to be right in the hands, and all of a sudden Sahaki steps up, and right here gets that right hand in there.
You got teenagers here, ages 14 to 17, 18 years old, playing with a lot of table stakes, Mark.
I'll tell you, and there is one person here who, well, they call him Southside Beaver's biggest fan, former alumni. It's a great story. We're going to develop that as we go along. A former player of Coach Glenn McDougal, who has a very special place with this team.
4th and 10, McCune to punt, and he's going to take it out to about the 16-yard line. Good kick. Southern Columbia with their full allotment of timeouts remaining in a tie game at 21.
Way back in September 20th, 1996, Southside Beaver was playing Farrell. A player by the name of Mike Cavall suffered a stroke that was caused by a blood clot, which was caused by a blow to the chest during the Farrell game. He was taken by ambulance to Sharon Hospital and flown to Allegheny General Hospital. It was very serious. 14 days he laid comatose in the hospital. Glenn McDougal, the Southside Beaver coach, even contemplated giving up coaching. He visited Cavall's every day, and Cavall's has a very special place with Coach McDougal. He is here today in his number 24 uniform at the Hershey Stadium.
Handoff. This is Nate Richard, who's back into the football game. He gets it to the 20-yard line. Well, there are 3 timeouts remaining. Who's going to use them, or are we going to the 10-yard line and settle it there in overtime?
I think if you're Southern Columbia right now, you're going to try to giddy up a little bit, but you're not going to really do anything fancy. You'll be satisfied to get to overtime and settle it there if you can.
You don't want to turn the ball over. That's your biggest fear, obviously. Now Caskey's back, looks, throws, intercepted by Melnick. the 35. Just as we said that, he undershoots a receiver, and Melnick is there with a huge play.
Yeah, Nazarchuk was coming on a fly straight down the field, and the ball was simply thrown behind him. Watch this. There's Nazarchuk, and there's Melnick.
I'm not sure Nazarchuk wasn't supposed to be turning in on that play. I don't know if we can get one more look at it, but Nazarchuk was still running straight downfield. Had never looked around for the ball. Let's take a look at it again. You can see Kasky setting up to throw it. Now watch Nazarchuk. He is not there. He's just now turning around, and it's way too late.
Yeah, it looks like Nazarchuk maybe expected to go a little bit deeper on that pattern.
21-21. McCune running out of trouble. He's looking for the corner. Still looking to get out of bounds, and does at the 40. Or check that at the 37-yard line. It's a gain of 2. He must have run 25 yards to get 2 of them back.
Again, great defense by Southern Columbia as they have now been put on the spot one more time.
I think that lost 2 yards.
Southern Columbia has really strung McCune out the second half with their blitzing.
They sure have. Yeah, the Southern Columbia defensive people really have figured out a scheme to bottle up the very athletic Sean McCune. They're sending a lot of guys on blitzes. Outside linebackers are coming in, pinching on the ends, and it's bottling up McCune, really limiting his options.
And I keep wondering when South Side Beaver will come back to that play down the gut. It was there the whole first half. They've been throwing outside the second half. Let's see if we get it here.
Well, they're going to check things out. It's 21-21. McCune back. Play action. Looks. Throws. Got a man wide open. It's nailed to the 20, to the 15. Step around to the 10. They're knocking on the door at the 7-yard line. It's a gain of 32 yards. And what a play. A cross-back route, and Nail burns him big.
That was the play that worked so well the first half. We've been waiting for it. Watch this. Just barely gets it away, does McCune, but on target to Nail, who just kind of got out in the flat. We saw it all first half, and there he goes.
What Nail does in that play, he just delays at the line of scrimmage. Linebackers kind of lose him. Busts out to the flat. Nice soft toss out there from McCune. Wide open field. Dan Nail takes it down inside the 10-yard line. It's 1st and goal. South Side Beaver at the 7.
He was hunting for pay dirt like he hunted for that buck the other week that had 11 points on it.
This one may have 3, which is enough to get you at state championship. They are well within field goal range.
Dan Nail.
Wow, what a play. I tell you, what a turn of events in the last 4 or 5 minutes, guys. You just, McCune, you know, they said he's the best player in Western PA. Well, if he's not the best, he's one of the most resourceful we've seen on this turf in a while.
No question. I have not seen
in under enormous pressure to get that ball away.
I've got to go back a little bit to the Southern Columbia series, the last series that caused the interception. I'm just a little surprised that in that particular position on the field that they didn't just take 3 downs, 4 downs, go out, run the clock out, decide it in overtime. They had fought their way back into this game and really just handed an opportunity back to South Side Beaver.
It's the first ball he hadn't thrown right all day, though, Gary.
That's
you gotta
right.
take your shot, and they make him pay. Handoff goes to Corey Boyd, just running the big guy, burrowing forward to about the 3 or 4, and they'll just melt the clock here. Southern Columbia may want to start thinking about calling a timeout or 2, but I think they're going to settle maybe for a block or try and hold him out.
Yeah, I don't think there's any surprise what Southside Beaver's going to do here. Corey Boyd, who has 27 touchdowns, 1 today.
3 more times.
Yeah.
And Jared Lewis, if you remember, missed the last extra point that he tried. It was low, so that's not a given here if the field goal situation comes to pass.
On the plus, he has hit a 35-yard field goal. They'll go to Boyd. They don't need a touchdown. Southside is on the lead at 27-21. 9 seconds remain. And the big play, McCune to Nail, the interception by Melnick, and they make him pay.
Ride the horse home, and that's Corey Boyd. 28 touchdowns on the season, and you saw number 28 right there as Corey Boyd just gets behind that offensive line and dives for pay dirt.
In the best single-A game of the tournament since it began in 1988. I don't think I'm far out on a limb with that statement.
Well, a lot of these kids for Southside Beaver, they won titles as 10-year-olds in the Termite Football League, is what they call it, and at age 13 in the Midget Football League, and they are now just 9 seconds away from a PIAA state title in the Class A.
That kick is no good, so now we're going to need the Cal Stanford band play for Southern Columbia to pull this baby out.
Well, what you're looking at now is, a miracle if you're Southern Columbia. And on the other side, if you're South Side Beaver, everybody makes sure you get to that ball.
Well, a 4-yard, 35-yard drive. 4-play, 35-yard drive. The big play, of course, the pass from McCune to Nail, and it was set up by the interception by Rob Melnick. Melnick has had just a scintillating day.
You see McCune over there talking with head coach Glenn McDougal, explaining, I'm going to kick it on the ground. So I kick it on the ground, coach? Coach is saying, yeah, I think so. 9 seconds away, and I'm going to tell you from a coach's standpoint who had a gold medal in basketball, this would be the 9 most nerve-wracking seconds that Glenn McDougal has ever gone through. And for Jim Roth, he's thinking, oh, I've been here before.
That's a heartbreaker for Southern Columbia's kids who've been here, been so close before. But South Side Beaver today with just incredible play in the clutch in the last 2 minutes of this game in regulation.
And you've got to feel great for Coach Glenn McDougal. He grew up in the South Side Beaver area. He's an alumni. He said